What now?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. So happy to have you all. Welcome to another exciting episode of Eberron, Ashes of the Last War. Um, I know you may all be surprised to see us here on a Wednesday after we told you we'd be doing it on Monday, but guess what? Life happened. So if you were unaware, we are going back to Monday. This week was a unexpected exception. Also, thank you, Sif, for the resub. um, and so we are going to do a brief round of introductions, um, followed by I'm going to show off an amazing piece of art that we have to unveil this session by popular demand of many viewers and players. And then I'm going to do a session recap and we will get started. So without further ado, I am Obsidia, everybody's favorite Death Knight. Always happy to have you all. I DM and wrote this campaign, so I'm excited to be here. How about you, Yulia?
Yes, very excited to be here. I'm sorry, it was technically my fault we moved it today because I've been sick. But hi, I'm Yulia, also Royal Knight VT on Twitch and Twitter. Play a whole bunch of variety games. Play a lot of JRPGs, MMOs, Skyrim. So yeah, really happy to be here and love to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Thank you, Yulia. Always love D&D in this household. Sif?
I am Sif, living suit of armor, temporary cat girl. I do art, video games, and D&D over on Twitter and Twitch. Come on by and say hi, or just say hi here. It's just nice seeing you guys. Hi. Also, hi, Lily.
You keep saying temporary cat girl, but I think at this point you're probably more cat girl than knight.
I think so.
Fem armor Sif will need to have cat ear toggle noted.
Yep. And on the subject of cutie pies with toggles, let's move on to Litro.
Hi, I'm Litro the Bronze. I'm one quarter dragon, and I like to play RPGs and play Dungeons and Dragons. You can usually find me playing D&D on both Sundays and Fridays for the Natural One D&D games, which many of these players are actually in. So if you like these people, feel free to drop by my channel and watch them in other games as well.
All right. Yep, definitely go check out Litro, the man, the myth, the legend, DM extraordinaire, quite the storyteller. Definitely go check out the other shows as well. They are amazing. And Mari Fafari.
That's me. I'm Maribelle, and I'm a Hobbit VTuber. And you can find me on Twitch here as Maribelle Bramble or on Twitter as Maribelle VT. And I like to do comfy, cozy, wholesome grandma core streams. So we read books and we cook in my kitchen and we do crafts, and it's just a nice, cozy time. So stop on by if that's your jam.
If your jam is jam, then Mari is also your jam. Soon to be Jam Graham.
Jam Graham!
But yes, thank you everyone. So as a first announcement, there is an NPC that will be featured at the start of this session that people fell in love with based on her previous brief introduction. So I asked if anybody would be willing to draw a lamia, because there is a character known as Lady Cryotrixia in this campaign, if you've watched the previous episodes. And none other than Mommy Mana, Luna, decided to take on that burden. And she has given us a true blessing of Snake Mommy. So I'm just going to show that off for everybody here. Big Snake Mommy, 15 feet of raw ara action.
Snake, mommy, snake, mommy, snake, mommy.
Yeah.
Observe.
And there is the link to the Twitter post that she made about it, so definitely go check it out. Send her some love. Commission her if you are so inclined, because she is amazing. She is also the creator of Fem Sith. So if you like Fem Sith and you like Snake Mommy, you will love Mommy Mana. All right. And we'll put Snake Mommy away for a moment. But yeah, so
Why must you do this to us?
I'm sorry.
Tease us.
She takes up
We're
too
gonna
much of the
see it.
screen. She takes up too much of the screen.
We're gonna see her again, Litro. Don't worry.
She is very tall.
Yep.
Just remember that if you simp for her, you'll somehow lose out on the Jubilee social link.
Oh, I'm simping for paint, not
Forgiveness.
so much.
Jubilee is already getting the harem mark, so but yeah, so aside from Snake Mommy, we have that we are once again going to be streaming on Monday this time and going forward, assuming people are capable of doing it on Mondays. And with that in mind, we will do the session recap. So previously on Eberron, Ashes of the Last War, our party, after having a bit of a tumultuous evening, disclosing to each other deep secrets, including the fact that our very own changeling, or our very own Kliff, is actually a changeling, struggling with some identity issues, the party was quite shaken. However, the next morning, Cess decided to try and bring everyone together with a wholesome breakfast, starting to put in the fact that this is really a test to see if you guys can actually work as a team, and to see if you guys have the potential to care for each other like family, because what is an adventuring party if not a found family? This went very well, and as they departed to go about their day, they decided to, A, they should probably turn in the quest and tell people that the war is going to be avoided, or averted, and then B, they should get ready for their fancy dinner party with Lady Cryotrixia tonight, the Lamia mother, who is so thankful that the party saved her daughter that she has offered to give them a big fancy dinner party. So upon leaving, one thing that was noted was as they went in, Litro, Kliff decided that Kliff is not exactly the form for them. Because Kliff is actually the spirit of a child that died next to Kliff. When they were but a small changeling, and they have been pretending to be them ever since. And that child's spirit is also Kliff's warlock patron, and so they've been living as Kliff all this time. So to try and strike it on their own, Kliff decided to create a new form, something a bit of their own identity to try out going forward. And so they have created the blue elven devil that you see below us here, and with a yet-to-be-determined name at the time. The party then met up with Urlach Kronzahar, informed her in her sleep-deprived and smelly state that they had averted all the problems. She angrily accepted, gave them their payment for it, and started cracking heads, trying to remove all of the mercenaries from town and disarm the various thug-like populace that had been brought in case of race war. The party then decided to go get fancy outfits to go to the dinner party. There was a shopping montage where they all got very adorable outfits. We learned that Paige has just watermelon crushing thighs and amazing legs, and she needs to show them off more. And from there, the party split up a bit, with Kliff and Jubilee going off to go wander the city for a bit, as Cess and Paige kind of relaxed and talked and kind of reminisced about where they come from and where they're going. Kliff decided to return to the Minotaur painting gallery that they had visited previously, and while there, they seemingly felt a great deal of resonance with the expression of painting art, as well as through the very Escher-esque art style of the Minotaur painter herself. And with that, Kliff decided that maybe a new name that would be more their identity would be Paint. So they're trying out the name Paint, and they are also trying out different voices to figure out what is the voice they want to use for Paint's identity. And then when the party reconvened, they went into the city on a carriage being led by big angry wolves like savage princesses, where they then arrived at the estate of Lady Cryotrixia, but they were confronted by a squad of heavily armed and armored ogres who stopped them as they dismounted, and from behind the grouping came none other than a very short, very angry green tiefling, and a very tall and very serene-looking Medusa woman. The tiefling explained that she was, in fact, Captain Lilith Venomspite, the person that the party had been hearing about throughout this whole adventure. And she informed the party that they were not as incompetent as she may have thought. And then the Medusa woman was somebody the party had briefly heard about during the adventure, known as High Priestess Hecate, who is the local priestess of the Dark Six. She bestowed each of the party members with a beautiful holy symbol of the Dark Six and gave them the blessings of the Six and said they were always welcome in the city and that the Six will always protect them. And then they got to meet the governor, sort of. So Captain Venomspite had an incident where her eyes rolled in the back of her head and a male voice started emerging from her as if all of her mannerisms and movements changed. And this was revealed to be the governor speaking through her, where he thanked them for their efforts, said they were heroes of Greywall, and he bestowed them symbols of his power to show that they were his now, and that would mean that they were a part of his warband, and that no one else in Drome would try and mess with them, because messing with them would mean messing with the governor, and nobody was terribly interested in doing that. He also gave them a house. He gave them the key to a house in the monstrous part of Greywall City that they have yet to see, but they will be informed about the locale upon them finishing the dinner party. As the accolades were awarded and the events seemed to be tapering out a bit, Lady Cryotrixia emerged from behind the ogres, offered to invite everybody to dinner. Captain Venomspite very hastily declined and stormed off with her ogres, and High Priestess Hecate smiled and also politely declined. And with that, the party found themselves entering Lady Cryotrixia's enormous hill estate and looking upon her shapely tail as she entered the massive doors into her domicile. And boy, that's being spelled out. It's really hitting me how crazy this campaign is accurate. So with that, we will now get started. You guys, as I described previously, Lady Cryotrixia is a very large lamia woman. She's probably, maybe 30-some feet long. And she usually, when she's at full coil standing up, she's about 15 feet tall. She is themed after a king cobra with banded red scales with her overall black scales. And then she's got a white and gold motif for her clothing. I will once again flash her on screen just for simplicity. As you enter, these doors are probably about, 15 feet wide. They're maybe about 15 feet tall as well. So she's probably not going at full height when she's going through these doors. But as she slides in, you see the place is not necessarily illuminated, but kind of glowing as you enter. And as you first enter, you get the feeling of, is it possible to have spacious claustrophobia? There are no windows inside of this giant hill, but there is also no torches, no lanterns inside of here. You look at the ceiling of the rooms, and it is entirely with recessed bioluminescent plants of all manners of colors, and they've been seemingly shaped into different designs. The entranceway is what appears to be the night sky, with the plants as different stars amongst it. And you notice there are tunnels everywhere. There aren't any doors on the inside of her house. There are enormous tunnels in all directions, up, down, side to side. There are also, this place is absolutely covered in textures. The walls are covered in carpets and rugs, Um, everything seems to be very tactile oriented, and recessed along the wall are various pictures of paintings and stones and sculptures, etc. And in some of the tunnels, you see that there are also handholds that presumably non-snakes use to get about the different levels of this domicile without, having the luxury of being a 30-foot long snake lady.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that is as you enter, and she is proceeding continually deeper, and your guys are descending downward through the different rooms.
Oh, well, you have quite a lovely place here.
Oh, thank you. I've been designing it for several years.
Uh, so have you been here long then?
Ever since the end of the war. I should continue slithering along. You'll see various gnolls and kobolds in some of the recessed areas of certain rooms, kind of looking at you. The gnolls appear to be guards mostly, wearing her heraldry, while the kobolds are clearly servant staff darting around doing various maid activities or getting the bioluminescent plants to go into different designs or colors and stuff in different rooms.
Kobold and maid outfits?
Yes, kobold maid outfits.
Where might the young lady be?
Oh, she's already in the dining room.
Oh, then we probably shouldn't keep her waiting, huh?
And you see her kind of scrunch up and curl around backwards to where, you basically see her tail and her face directly in front of you as she gives you a big smile, as her hands are basically spread along either wall, and gives you a big smile and be like, patience. Trust me, the dinner will not get cold.
Oh, of course not. My apologies, ma'am.
She'll wink and then she'll slither back around and continue sliding down. You notice it also gets progressively cooler as you go deeper into her house. Like, you've been probably walking for several minutes now going downward. This place is significantly larger than it seemed on the outside. There appears to be a vast labyrinth that makes up this domicile.
After the wink, I just whispered to the others, is it just me, or am I the only one that's getting very nervous?
Says is full on overwhelmed by the amount of textures. I think every now and again as they're walking in the hallway, she's poking at a different wall, feeling it, and Paige has to grab her to remind her, hey, we gotta go down the hallway.
That is a good way to describe it. Every room has a feel to it, more than a design aesthetic. So you'll have a room that's nothing but velvet is the textures on the walls and floors, and you'll have another room that is nothing but a more of a shag feeling, and it's all very texture based. Um, Paige and Jubilee, do you want to say anything before you proceed deeper?
Well, not nervous per se. I mean, we've been to dinners like this before, high and fancy to do, so I don't see why this one would be any different.
I suppose not. It's just
Mm,
it. She does know my secret, so it's a bit nerve-wracking. She keeps winking at me, which makes me very uncomfortable.
Maybe you should let her know that? But maybe it's just her way of, trying to be hospitable.
I suppose you could be right. You're the smart one, of course.
I, I mean, just merely observation is all. Um, I mean, I haven't been to fancy dinners often as both of you, but I guess the jitters are excitement. We
Well,
definitely
just
deserve this.
we'll just follow Jubilee's lead. She's the more accomplished when it comes to dinner parties. I had a child running around in my head for all these past few years, so I can't say I am the best when it comes to etiquette.
Oh, well, I mean, usually I'm standing behind somebody, just looking kind of fierce, so
Mm.
maybe don't follow my lead. But just,
Well,
this is for us, so just act natural.
I mean, I'm pretty sure she's a smart lady. She can at least tell that one of us doesn't know how to be here. So just act casual. It's not that big of a deal. Like I'm assuming there's like a maid running by with
Yep.
like a pile of cloths and just take a handkerchief from the top, absentmindedly. Like, see, like it's natural. Start like wiping off some of the sweat with it. Fine.
The kobold will stop and look up at you with its big, bright yellow eyes. All their eyes glow in here almost as much as the bioluminescence. And it will look up at you in Goblin as the main language down here and be like, "Is there anything else I gotta be able?"
I hand the handkerchief back.
They're going to have to re-clean that now.
"Oh, it's understandable, my lady. Don't worry."
Sorry, it's a little warmer down here than I'm used to. But yeah, no, it's not that serious, guys. Calm down. I'm sure if we were to do something rude, Cryotrixia would take us aside and calmly talk to us. I mean, there's no way she'd crush us with her entire, lower half. Right?
As you say that,
Yeah.
I'm in danger.
you enter the next room, which is a very expansive room, and the textures here are furs and skins. And in this room, you see in the recesses, there's actually weapons, but they're all like broken weapons, broken pieces of armor. You see Brailish banners that have been like torn apart and stuff, or covered in blood, or that's long ago been stained in as a part of the cloth. And one second. And so you see all of that, and there's the skins and furs here are from all kinds of animals and creatures. There's classic things like maybe like deer and bear and gray render and bullet. You see like shells of like of chitin and everything, and
I think I hear a bard singing "Soldier Poet King" in the background.
and the plants here, the design on the ceiling is actually a map of Drome, and there are various like highlights on the map that are all about the kingdom of Drome, and some that extend beyond Drome into western Brayland. And you don't know what they indicate, but so yeah, that's this room, which leads you directly into the dining room area.
During that long
Yeah.
walk, could I have ritually cast Detect Magic at all?
You're just walking along for 10 minutes going, "I'm casting Detect Magic."
Oh, I mean, it's a long walk. You said earlier 17 minutes.
Yeah, it is a long time. It's funny to think that you've just been muttering Arcana this whole time. But sure, you could detect magic.
Yeah, I wanted to go ahead and do that so we can check out the medals and keys and stuff we were given, making sure they're not,
They
used to spy on us.
they do not appear to be magical.
Okay.
And so the rest of this place has magical energy about it, but it doesn't seem to be like terribly focused. It's more of like the place is magical with a lot of latent magical energy, rather than like that's a giant magic sword. And when you get to the dining room area, this is a very large room with a very low to the ground comparatively stone table. For you guys, it would probably be like normal table height. And at the front of the room is an enormous stone. I would like to say it's it's kind of like a basket on the ground. It's a basket upside down, made of stone, with a big slice taken out of it, and the inside of it is covered in fabric and like very plushy cushions and stuff. And along this room, you just see lots of snake iconography, and all of the designs are actually in the shape of Lady Cryotrixia and her daughter in all the plants. And you see little Cleotrixia. She is curled up on the table at the right side of that giant basket. And then you see Lady Cryotrixia slide into the basket and basically start coiling herself up in it and reclining, and it appears to be a very large chair for her. There are small, cushioned stone kind of trying what to think of it, like stools that have been moved into place at various parts of the table that are sized for you people.
Is little Lady Cleotrixia still wearing her druid crown?
She will be, yes. She's got it on. She's wearing some nice silks and stuff on her upper torso, and she's got little some little bangles and torques and stuff on her arms. And she looks at you guys and she gives you a big fangy smile as both the snake women's eyes also glow and glimmer in the kind of luminescent darkness of this room.
I give her a smile and wave back as I start to head for the table.
Yeah. Paige will go ahead and wave as well, a little more enthusiastically.
And as Cryotrixia is in her basket, Cleo's gonna look up at her and say something in a language you don't understand and point at you guys. And Cryotrixia just gives a big smile and kind of looks down at her and nods. And she gets up and slithers over to you guys and starts giving you hugs.
Give her a big hug in return, even like picking her up and doing a little twirl the best I can, and then setting them back down so they can hug everyone else.
You see her little tail rattle, start rattling as it flies off the ground and twirls around. She's pretty damn heavy for you, Paint. She may be a little snake, but she is all snake, and you are very weak.
Yeah, not even gonna attempt that. Just a big hug and a little squeeze.
It's so good to see you all again, and you all look so pretty.
Can you say that again? You kind of broke up a bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's so good to see you all again, and you all look so pretty.
Oh, well, thank you. You're looking really lovely yourself.
Not as pretty as you, little one. Look at you. You look just like a... Oh, you look as beautiful as your mom over there.
You hear Cryotrixia kind of chuckle a bit, and Cleo kind of wiggles about, and you hear her rattlesnake rattle start rattling. Oh, you guys are so nice. I'm so happy you decided to come have dinner with us.
Oh, we couldn't say no.
We have so much food for you guys. I hope you're going to like it all. It's going to be so tasty.
Thank you for having us.
We definitely can't wait to see it all.
And she will happily slither back to her place, and a group of kobolds come out of some of the recesses and start directing you guys to stools, and pouring you glasses of water. And then a group of about 6 kobolds come out carrying an enormous golden goblet that's probably the size of your torso, and puts it down in front of Lady Cryotrixia. And the kobolds will look up to you and be like, any drink preferences?
Oh, just probably some sweet juice for me or something.
For me, is fine.
Just some nice water to start us off, for me at least.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I'll start with whatever the juice that Paint's having.
Excellent. Juices all around. We will be right back with those. And the kobolds nod and bow and chitter off. If you all are concerned about appearances, do not worry. You can have whatever your heart desires. As her tongue kind of slides between her teeth and stuff as she smiles.
I try not to start drinking before dinner.
We do appreciate it. You are very kind to allow us to do so. I just prefer non-alcoholic drinks as it can impede my judgment.
She nods. And the kobolds quickly return with your various juices. It's a bright red juice, with a bit of a sparkle to it. And then kobolds begin putting giant plates of breads and fruits and veggies and soups, like bowls of soup around for each of you guys, and you see that the meal is just starting to unfold for the courses. And you see the large serrated claws of Lady Cryotrixia extend around her goblet, and she takes a dainty sip of this enormous beverage.
Oh, man.
Go ahead and take a sip of my drink as well, and I try and pick up some polite conversation. So why don't you go ahead and tell us some more about your time here in the city?
Oh, I'm surprised you just want to know about little old me.
Well, wouldn't everyone want to know about you?
There's not really much to know. I'm just like everyone else. You realize she is very clearly not like everyone else.
Oh, you're being very humble. From what I can see, you are quite the amazing woman.
Oh, I do what I can. I simply seek to protect this city and protect these people. That's it. Nothing terribly exciting about that. You, though, all of you are adventurers. And none like I've ever faced or seen before. Tell me about yourselves.
Well,
mean-
like you, we want to. Well, I can't say we because I don't want to speak for everyone, but at least I want to help protect people. And if I can earn money while doing it, then why not, right? Uh, I don't like talking about myself. I apologize.
Casually's just bobbing her head as she looks amongst the four of you.
Well, as for me, I used to get punched in a pit for money, and now I'm getting punched in other places for money. So, all in all, I'm in it for the experience, I guess. It's tough to say. I don't exactly have a resume or anything about this sort of stuff.
Oh, sorry, but a pit fighter? You will have to go to the Great Crag one day. There is the most amazing arena there.
What is
If
the
I can
place called?
Oh, you must not be familiar with our fair kingdom very much. The Great Crag it's our capital. That's where the daughters hold court.
Oh, no, I was not aware. My sister and I just have left Sharn for the first time. So everything's really a new experience for us.
Coach kinda mentioned this place before, but I never figured we'd ever get the chance to go out and see it. So, yeah.
Few outsiders are allowed that deep into Jerome, but you are now one of us. The governor has given you his protection. That means you may travel freely. You must see it one day. The blood that is spilled there is truly spectacular.
I'm sure we will see it someday. And if you're asking me, I think they're all just being moss as well. You see, Seth's here, probably one of the most fearsome fighters I have ever seen. I would have loved to have been able to see her in the pit in action.
Flashback to her getting the shit kicked out of her in a warehouse.
Well,
I just like that. 180. I'm sorry. That's the first thing I thought of. No, you're good. You're good, Litro. You're good.
moreover, she takes community above most things. So seeing her in a new community with new people, you know for well good that she's going to want to go ahead and bond with everyone as much as she can so she can create a new and welcoming community for all. And then her sister over here, Paige, well, she is a new person in her field of study. And she's going to do great things one day as she's going to be studying time magic.
Paige, you get the full weight of the snake stare at you. It's kind of hypnotic when she's looking at you and you look at her. As her very wide glowing eyes, as she kind of sits up in her basket more and stretches a bit over the table to look down at you. Oh, you practice magic?
Yes, I do. Chronomancy more specifically, but I am trying to learn as much as possible. I went to a school in Sharn for that reason.
Oh, how cute. They teach you magic in schools?
Yeah, they do. Well, colleges more specifically, not just every school. It's a pretty nice school, pretty upper class, so.
But there's no greater experience than the experience you get while on the field.
Uh,
So as you
mm.
can see, she's already a step above her peers.
I am a bit of a weaver of spells myself.
Are you? That's wonderful. What sort of magic do you know?
She kind of thinks for a moment. She goes, I have the ability to shape the thoughts of others and the ability to defend those that I have sworn to protect. It is an art that I've refined as a part of my blood.
That is very interesting.
Would you
It's
be willing to share notes?
I don't think I could be able to explain anything to her. And she looks down at you and goes, You study in your colleges. I simply feel. And she gives you that big fangy smile as her tongue slides between her teeth again.
And of course, there's our fourth member of our party, Jubilee. She is one of the toughest nuts you'll be able to see around here, and a former bodyguard. Thanks to her experience, we were able to think things through tactically and figure out how great it is to protect people when on our mission, such as finding out the best way to protect your daughter here.
Um, she will pull back from being in Paige's face with that wonderful kind of peppery reptile smell that she exudes. And she'll then turn her head over to look at Jubilee and go, "So are you the one I should thank more than all for bringing back my precious little broodling?"
Oh, no, not exactly, ma'am. That'd be dishonorable of me to take the credit for something that we all put a great deal of effort into. Paint here is being a little more kind than I think I would have put it. But I do try my utmost to make sure people, well, stay alive. It's kind of my job.
"Well, I am forever in your debt." She just kind of looks at you for a bit, swaying, unblinking at you. Then she does that sideways reptile blink and goes, "Noted." And then she just seems to smile to herself and slinks back into her basket as you see massive slabs of marinated meat are being brought out, as well as what appears to be large stone like files, like beaker kind of things. They're probably about, I don't know, maybe 2 feet tall, each of them. And there's a kobold struggling under each as they put them in front of Lady Cryotrixia. And then there is smaller ones put in front of Cleo. These ones are probably more akin to maybe like a 14-ounce glass worth. And this all smells absolutely delish. All the food smells delish. And she goes, "Oh, please, you can start eating at any time." And her...
Well,
Sorry.
well, don't mind if I do. Thank you very much.
And you start nomming, and it is delicious.
Yay!
It's very different than the food you had at the Gold Dragon Inn. It's much gamier, and everything seems to have much more of a wildness about it. That it's basically only a thinly painted veneer of civility over all of the kinds of food you're eating. Like there's been attempts made to make them appear more civilized than maybe they would be eating normally. And you see Lady Cryotrixia take her claws, and she takes each of her long talons and puts it into the stone files, and then she pulls it out, and you see that her fingers have basically been shish kebabbed with various fruits and veggies and meat on them. And she looks at you and goes, "Oh, I made sure that they gave you utensils, didn't I?" And she kind of squints down at your placements, and there is in fact little silver. They appear to be fairly freshly forged, like forks and knives and spoons.
Oh, thank you. It's very considerate.
If not, we could have eaten with our hands too.
Sess's hands are already in the food.
Wait, Sess!
Were we not supposed to eat with that? She says like as she's scarfing down a piece of chicken.
I don't think it really matters.
Cleo starts giggling watching that as, she does her own little talons into her small glasses, and they each in turn start like just basically just sucking down all of the things that are on a given claw at once.
Well, we have our dinner. How about we have something of a show too? As I go ahead and I start to cast major silent image, as well as minor illusion to add sound to my silent image, as I start to put on a small little like 3D TV show of our best hits, I guess.
From the last 3 days.
There are best hits or other adventurers of tales that I've heard of, like famous tales of adventurers and the monsters they've slain or other things like that.
Yeah, I take it you don't show the part where you were
Not the parts
murdering
where we mess up.
murdering terrorists in a burning warehouse.
Yeah.
Might bring down the mood just a little bit.
But
And
things like the legendary hero slaying the dragon, or the mighty giants taking on the fierce halfling hordes.
um I take it the giants are the ones who are on the good guy side of this.
Yes.
Okay. Cleo like immediately starts like clapping and stuff as she looks at this, super excited as she slinks off of her stool and like gets closer to the image and stuff. And Cryotrixia's eyes definitely brighten up looking at these, but she still is leaning back in her chair eating.
I look down at little Cleo and I'm like, "Is there a story you want to be seen? I know plenty of them. I can try my best to show whatever one you want."
Um, do can you show what when and she kind of thinks for a second and goes, "Oh, can you show when my daddy defeated the king's armies?" And you see Cryotrixia's eyes narrow considerably when she says this.
Uh, have I heard of a story like this?
No, you've definitely never heard of it.
I can try my best. Let's see. Now, how did it go again? Well, won't you help me remember as I start to try and like shape the tale based on like how she describes her little fantasy?
Um, as she starts to say something, Lady Cryotrixia will, in a slightly too loud voice, echoing in the room, say, "That will not be necessary."
You know, you're right. That's probably a story for another night. How about this one instead? And I go ahead and show the story about a woman who slayed the Jabberwock with the help of her tiny rabbit with a pocket watch.
And you you see Cleo kind of recoils at her mom yelling, and somewhat confused. And she kind of slides back into her stool as she looks at the new animation, but she seems a little wind knocked out of her.
I try and cheer her up the best I can with the depiction of the little rabbit sidekick.
Yeah, and he goes, "When do they eat the bunny?"
Oh, they can't reach the bunny. You see that big time? See that big stopwatch? You see, he uses that to always keep track of time. That way he can always stay out of danger when time comes.
That's inconvenient. How else are you gonna eat him?
Well, you don't want to eat that rabbit. That rabbit's going to help you.
But we eat rabbits. She looks very confused by this prospect. As Cryotrixia takes a deep swig of her glass.
I eventually put into the tale about the magical lamia who has the power to negate time stop abilities to eat the rabbit.
Cleotrixia claps very happily at this.
And I make sure the magical snake has a druid crown just like her.
Mommy, it's like me. I'm gonna eat the rabbit. And you see her like essentially pounce on some of the meat on the table and go.
Meanwhile, Jubilee has been cutting up her portions into like 1 by 1 centimeter sizes.
And pure like proper dining.
Paige is going between like trying to use the silverware to like to like scooping it up with one hand and eating it and being like, oh wait, no, let me use the silverware.
It's like in your mouth, and you have to like remove it from your mouth, put it back on the fork, and then put it in your mouth again.
I like the two sides of the table manners spectrum is Cess and Jubilee, and Paige is failing at both.
If any of the stories, by the way, have like a queen and a princess, I always have Lady Cryotrixia as the queen and the princess as little baby Cleo.
And they're always excited when the people get killed in them. When the monsters win and the people die is basically the parts of the story that Cleo is most happy about.
Well, ma'am, as you said, we're not very familiar, with your area, so to speak. And with us having, gained a house, I was just wondering, since we'll be staying here, what should we see first?
She takes another swig of her goblet and then puts it down, and a group of kobolds carrying a very, very large decanter. It takes about 6 kobolds to carry. Starts refilling it. She goes, well, if you intend to stay in Greywall long term. She seems to be a bit icier than she was at the start of this talk, after the mention of that story. Because the city has been, since the end of the war, has been given great amenities. We've strived to make it a place where people can be safe and live in peace and pursue activities aside from just squabbling and infighting with each other. I could always recommend attending the various events that some of the Eladrin host outside of the Grove, as well as whenever the Green Dragon comes to town. His plant displays are truly astounding.
I know that you said that Paint might not know about the story, but would Paige have read anywhere about that particular king, or is it just
Yeah, make a history check.
okay? Because I'm really curious about that.
Oh, I forgot
I
to
have
on
a-
music.
I have a feeling it's like childhood fantasy, but who
It's
knows?
okay. I got in that one. So.
Nice.
Oh wait, I want to use my inspiration on that actually.
Okay.
I really want to see if I know. Let's try for something better. All right, 14.
Okay. You know that based on information about Drome itself in recent history, Drome used to be a part of Brayland up until about 15 years ago. And at some point around that time, 3 great hags called the Daughters of Sorakel rose out of this comparative monstrous wasteland that is Drome, a place that was inhabited by creatures and not really people, and the only people that would go out here would be treasure seekers, mercenaries, and knights errant and silver flame crusades trying to kill the monsters, clear the place, and excavate the ruins and stuff of it. And so the hags rose up with their army and got the various monstrous people there to ally to their cause, and fought against the current king of Brayland for a period of time before he eventually pulled all the troops out of Drome and de facto ceded it to the hags, even if it's not acknowledged by any actual country. So that might be what Leo is referencing, but you don't know any particular story that would involve her father. You don't know who father is.
Right. Okay.
I have a feeling it was more like childhood fantasy of like, I never knew my dad. He walked out to go get milk forever ago, but I knew his job was to be like the president.
And as the meat gets finished eaten, Lady Cryotrixia will gesture to some kobolds who go next to Cleo, and she looks down and Cleo goes, "All right, my little scale. It's time for you to carry about your studies. I'm going to finish the evening talking to our guests." And Cleo goes, "But I want to stay and talk to them. I like the little shows they're doing." And she
Well, I
goes,
could always come back for some more if you want me to. With the new house nearby, I can always show up if you need me.
Cleo goes, "Really?"
Of course, if your mother's all right with it.
And Lady Cryotrixia kind of nods and goes, "See? They'll be back eventually. They can tell you more stories. Now, make sure you do all of your lessons. You don't want to be caught out there, ignorant and alone for all the rabbits to come after you," as she puts up her claws in a ferocious rabbit stance in her mind.
Put up the image of a fearsome rabbit.
And Cleo kind of giggles and kind of nods and goes, "Oh, okay, mommy, I'll do it. Thank you, everybody, for coming."
Thank you
Thank
for joining
you.
us.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, little one. Now hurry off before the rabbit catches you. And I have to start to have the silent image rabbit start to chase her.
She squeals and starts laughing and or running and or slithering away and laughing as the kobolds scamper after her. And once she's gone, Lady Cryotrixia will take another sip of her goblet and look it down at you all and go,
We apologize if any subject that was brought up was a sore one.
"No, I apologize for snapping at you. My life bonded mate is a complicated story.
So
You don't have to tell it, ma'am. Just know that we apologize if any, boundaries were stepped upon.
Yes, you invited us into your home and shown us great kindness. And we would not want to repay that with bad memories.
She sighs deeply and goes, "The memories are not bad. It's simply the lack of more of them."
I understand.
My mate and I fought in the war for independence against the kingdom.
Oh,
I was in the war as a messenger. I saw many of things while I was running around in the battlefield. It was not always a pretty sight.
Yes, I can only imagine what the war amongst the kingdoms was like. Ours was, of course, a very different matter. But Volsoren was always at my side. You don't realize this, but she gestures to the room and goes, "This wasn't possible before."
mm.
This you don't know what it is like to be hunted like we were.
I think I have some idea.
So I delight in the fact that we can live in a place where we can laugh over dinner, and those could be the days that we enjoy. When I originally would live in caves like this. If I were to see somebody like you, well, dinner would be a very different matter. Just kind of looking very wistfully down into her goblet.
But now we're neighbors. And being neighbors mean we can have good dinner whenever we wish each other's company.
Kind of does a little smile a bit. And goes, how the times have changed.
Indeed.
I know. I've only read about it, but I know it's not anywhere compared to what you actually been through and what you've lived through. So I think you've done really well for yourself, and I'm really happy for you and your daughter. I hope that the world can keep progressing forward in a way that no one has to feel the way that you did.
She smiles and goes, I hope so too. I hope that you all never have to see that kind of war, that kind of prejudice. And it makes you realize what actually matters in this world. And it took the loss of my mate to make me realize that as well. The hatred is so strong. You become obsessed with it. You become obsessed with all the people that are trying to kill you in the dark. And it's only when you lose the things that matter most to you that you truly realize that hatred didn't mean anything, because it didn't give you anything. All it did was take them away. And they never come back.
Lady Cloudtrixia, I promise you that for the rest of my life, I will do everything in my power I can to make sure that no such fighting will take place again, as much as I can prevent it. That is a cause that I can fully believe in.
She nods.
Paige gonna go over, reach over, and kind of takes us by one of her hands. Yeah, I know where hatred has gotten a lot of people. And we're still fighting for it in Sharn too. So I don't think it's gonna go away that easily, but at least we're taking steps.
Just kind of bobbing her head a little bit as she's looking down. Goes, I guess that's my most important lesson to you then, and I'm glad to see that there is even hope amongst the people of the kingdoms. I do what I can to see that peace continues to reign here. And the governor is helping mend a lot of the damaged bonds between them and us. And while it is not my way, I feel like the daughters chose wisely, putting him in charge of this city when I declined.
Oh, so you've met the daughters then?
I fought alongside them in many battles, all across this land in western Brayland.
My goodness. So then you know the governor personally?
Yes, I he did not fight during the war. He came in the after years of the war when a different tenor needed to be taken. I kind of fiddling with her claws a bit, goes, my mate and I, we were called by the daughters, and we became warlords, leading our people against the kingdom, and we fought many great battles together. But after he was killed, I just couldn't do it anymore. That, like I said, that's when I realized that I hadn't gained anything. She looks up at the ceiling where you see the plant artwork of her and her daughter and goes, I could never bring myself to paint him, because when someone's gone, you never get to see who they are again. You create them in your mind, but that wasn't them. That was your version of them. And it changes over the years as memories come and go. And I just couldn't live with the fact of having pictures of him around here and know that all I was doing was creating some bastardized form of him. And that's the saddest part of all, is that all the things that you remember about that person disappear over time. The sense, the tastes, the feels, it all just disappears. The best you can ever do is an approximation, but that becomes mutated with the things you see. And that's the most painful part, is the absence.
Well, he's never truly gone. Not just in your memory, of course, that will fade with time, but in your daughter as well.
She looks down and at Paint and smiles a bit, and you do see tears are kind of forming on her eyes. She goes, yeah, that's the most interesting part of all, is that I see all the little parts of him in her. The diamonds on her back, the sheen of her oil, the way her fang curves just a little to the side when she smiles. And in those moments, I feel like he's still here.
Isn't that just a beautiful moment?
You didn't want to hear that. Yes, I know the governor. After Volsorin was killed, I stepped down as a warlord. The fight had already ended anyway. It was just cleansing the land of any remaining partisans and knights. And when I was offered this city, I declined. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I decided to take some interests in the various mining functions that we do now as our way to pay for all of this world, and I just tried to focus on protecting the only thing I had left that mattered in this world. So I see the governor upon occasion, albeit rarely. I let him do what he does best, and I just try to enjoy the peace that I fought for.
Well deserved, of course.
I'm sorry for bringing down the mood of what was intended to be a happy occasion.
No, of course. If it's nice to hear about those that are no longer with us. Just to keep their memory alive. No, I
As
think.
well as inspire us in the future.
Hmm, yeah, I think we've all experienced some sort of loss, so I think it's good to talk about, especially among friends.
Friends, what a world we live in now. As she chuckles a bit as the tears continue to flow from her eyes, and
I go ahead and offer like a small handkerchief.
she tries as delicately as she can, but ends up kind of just impaling it on one of her claws and puts it up to her cheeks and soaks it. Again, kind of looks down at you and it gives you kind of a I'm sorry. It's not really designed for me.
And no apology needed. Seems I need to learn more about lamias.
But I pray to the six none of you have to experience something like that, and I hope that you remember, as you do whatever you're going to do, that there are things that matter more in this world than any money or fame or vendetta or the words of any kingdom. Remember the things you love, and don't ever let them go. That's the only thing worth fighting for.
I think I speak for all of us when I say that you have truly opened up our minds and our hearts tonight. We thank you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your meals.
We did. Thank you again for everything.
She'll look down at Jubilee and go, um, I see you did your best to eat, no matter how silly it may look.
Oh, I guess old habits die hard.
She goes, oh, it's quite interesting how you how different we truly are. And she kind of just smiles and goes, but we learn from each other. That's, I guess, the real point.
Suppose it wouldn't hurt if I learned to loosen up a little bit.
I've been waiting, I don't know, 20 years to hear that. Only for now for it to actually come out.
Ah,
Well, you may still have to wait a little longer.
Well, I'll get you to relax yet, I'm sure.
he goes, as she looks at the two of you talk like that, and her tongue slides through her teeth again, and then her eyes go a little bit wider, and she goes, "Oh,
Oh?
well, I could just, I sensed something."
Oh, right?
Fate, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She goes and stuffs something else in her mouth.
I think I'll have that drink now, ma'am, if that's still an option.
I think you must have only sensed our bitter rivalry ever since we were kids.
The pheromones would indicate differently. And she snaps her claws, and some kobolds come out and pour you some wine.
Thank you. Not quite sure how to react to that. Just gonna start drinking.
Does anybody have anything else they wish to say to her or to each other or anything else?
I have something before we leave, but I think that's like a last thing.
Okay.
I know Cess has been a little quiet this evening.
Don't
Because
look.
they were accidentally muted.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it.
Oh my god, I'm
Just
so sorry,
don't
Sif.
mention boats. You're good. You're good. That's on me. I just
I was
kind of
thinking
hate
too.
the fact that normally I don't mute when I BRB, but due
I was
to
thinking-
unforeseen circumstances, I had to.
Gotcha.
I was
Well, is
thinking,
there
like,
anything
oh
you
man, they're
want to
being
say?
really quiet. I hope we're not like upsetting them.
No, you're good. You're good. I will simply any extra food that I can't eat goes into a bag. That's it. Leave it as a gag.
As kobolds try to clear your place, you're batting them away. Pocketing all the food. All right. You get an ensemble of tasty food.
This is totally going to be tomorrow's breakfast.
Mm-hmm. Good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is nothing else, then the rest of the evening will conclude, and the kobolds will clear all your places, and she will go. I imagine you need to get home. I've been told that your servant will be outside for when you depart.
Before we leave, Lady Cryotrixia, would you be so kind as to is there a place we can talk privately?
Cocks her head to the side, goes, just you and I?
It would be preferred.
You see her get a little fangy smirk at that. And she goes, well, if your companions don't mind, I could take you to a room.
Takes another big swig.
No, we don't mind, right?
Yeah, we can play with your dad in the meanwhile.
It'll only be a moment, I'm sure.
All right.
Fast.
So be it. As she looks at Jubilee as she says that.
Avoids eye contact.
The servants will help ensure that you are properly given a suitable housewarming gift before your departure, and you may follow me, Paint. She seems to say a bit humorously as she begins to uncoil and slide out of her basket.
I'll follow behind her.
All right. She'll just take you like a minute or so deeper into the complex, where you come across a room where it is covered. The floor is covered in pillows, just lots and lots of pillows, and there are lots of stone like tablets with writing on them. There is lots of scrolls. There's several books all about, and you see her slink into the room, and she curls up around a pile of pillows and rests her elbows on the pillows as she looks at you with those giant reptilian eyes.
Suddenly realizes the situation, blushes a bit, shakes their head, and then tries to get straight back into business. Wow, this is quite the accommodations, but then I wanted to ask you, how exactly did you know it was me from before?
Kind of cocks her head to the side again and kind of does a little confused smile, and she goes, I already told you. You taste differently. I mean, you taste the same no matter what you look like.
But you never. I'm a bit confused on that. You never. I don't ever remember you tasting me.
Oh,
Exactly.
you silly little thing. As she uncoils a bit around the pillows and slinks right up to you and wraps one of her claws around you
Oh
and
dear.
gently picks you up. And she goes, sliding her forked tongue between her fangs as she looks you in the face. You're very small to her very large mouth right now, you notice. um, and she goes, I don't just see things, I taste things. And she slides her tongue right in front of your face. She goes, I don't need to touch you to taste you.
Oh,
Your
well, I see then.
your flavor is throughout the air, all around you.
Well, and I suppose I better start getting some perfume or some other things to help the disguise. Uh, I apologize for the attempt at deception earlier, uh, but I would greatly appreciate it if you would help keep it a secret. You see, I'm not quite supposed to be able to do this.
You're a changeling. This is perfectly natural. You are perfectly normal.
I I appreciate that, but not many people know that I'm a changeling. Uh, Other than, well, you, probably your daughter. She can also smell the same way you do, and my three friends out there. I grew up as Kliff. They don't even know that I'm a changeling. Back when I was a changeling, I was hunted down, stoned, made to be like trash. So, and I would prefer for that to be kept a secret for now, at least. If you would be so kind. I didn't want to have this discussion in front of your servants in case secret would continue to spread, but I wish for Kliff to stay Kliff for at least a little bit longer and not have it found out that Kliff is actually not Kliff. You get what I'm saying?
She she's still looking at you with her giant eyes and that are kind of half lidded, and she runs the thumb of her claw that's around you kind of over your head, into like your hair, just kind of brushing it back, and goes, I'm so sorry, little one, that you had to feel so hurt for being who you are. But if that is the life you wish to live, then your secret is safe with me, and you can be whoever you want to be here.
I thank you, Lady Cryotrixia. And I don't know if it's the life I want to live. My friends out there are helping me come to terms with that. But I know I don't want it to change all at once.
She'll
I hope that in the future we can continue to stay friends like this forever. I greatly enjoy your company, even if it does cause my heart to race a bit faster than it probably should.
Yes, I can feel your blood rushing everywhere. As she sets you down. And she'll lean back against her pillows and go, but, as I said, you're safe here. And you are our friend, no matter how you choose to present yourself.
And again, I must thank you. And I go ahead and I do the polite thing, and I do the like noble kiss hand.
She sees you moving in, and she seems kind of confused at first, and then she has this realization of like, oh, that's something they do, and she extends out one of her huge, razor sharp claws at you. And you demurely, kiss her. You feel a little bit of the oil that's on her scales against your lips as you do it, and then you can pull back, and she kind of looks at just this like very amused grin at this whole like inner exchange.
All right, we should probably get back to my friends now. But now that we're neighbors, I suppose we can have these talks whenever we wish. Especially if we ever come over to babysit your daughter whenever you need.
You and your companions are always welcome here. I'm sure that I will treat you all like family.
Well, be careful how you say that. Seth usually does have quite the appetite when it comes to free food.
Oh, I could just eat you all up.
Please don't.
Kind of laughs and then will slide out of the room past you.
Turn to the party.
And you guys are getting big doggy bags full of food, and also like some nice linens and stuff to take to your new house. And they all have the presumably the personal heraldry of Lady Cryotrixia, which is a diamond wrapped by a cobra. And so you got all these little linens and stuff with it, and some like toiletries and some noms, as the kobolds are piling you up with stuff.
But we don't know. I mean, we know the general direction, but we don't know which house exactly.
She told you your servant would be here
Okay.
to take you.
Mm-hmm.
So as you guys get all of that and move towards the door, you see Lady Cryotrixia slithering out of a different tunnel with a very awkward-looking paint behind her, and she looks very amused.
I pat Jubilee on the shoulder and nod.
She is doing her practiced stone-faced expression.
It's okay. Be the stronger one. I've been where you are. You want to take the moral high ground for this. You can be so much more spiteful for it later.
Oh, I don't understand what there would be to be spiteful for.
Exactly. Nothing happened, Nothing important. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Grabs an extra bottle of wine from the kobold, jams into Jubilee's bag.
I just realized I forgot to unmute Roll20 on my browser, so there still hasn't been any music playing.
Let's go!
Oh, the scuff. The scuff.
I just like to picture Jubilee has like one of those tiny clutch purses, and now there's like a bottle of wine hanging out of it.
As Pain returns, and he quickly returns over to their friends. Sorry about that, gang. I wanted to talk about the mask situation.
Yes.
Away from the servants.
Yes, they had much to say.
Oh. I see.
I'm sorry if I detained him a little too long.
No, we are just fine, thank you.
Are you alright, Jubilee?
I'm perfectly fine, thank you for asking.
We's just a little tired, it's late. We hopefully have a nice bed.
You just seem a bit more tense than normal.
I think it's from cutting all those tiny little cubes of meat at dinner time. A little tiring.
Well, hopefully next time you eat here you can be more unrestrained. She smiles at Jubilee.
I will make an attempt, ma'am. I most certainly will.
If we're heading home anyway, I can probably help you out with that. I actually learned how to actually do a proper whale massage. If you wish, when we get home, I can actually do probably one for everyone.
I step on Paint's foot mid-sentence.
Ah! What was that for?
Listen, Paint, I take him aside. Listen, knowing who you are now, I'm kind of rooting for you. You don't want to go saying stuff like that. Okay?
People don't like massages?
It's a little more complicated than that, but just don't go offering it to just anybody, all right?
Well, I wasn't offering it to anyone. I was offering it to you guys.
I'm good. Thank
you know what
you.
hand-holding is.
Oh no, we're having the talk right here.
Oh, jeez.
In front of Snake
wait.
Mom.
No, the Snake Child's in the room. Nope, we're not doing this talk. We'll have it another
In
time.
front of Snake Mom. I should have a
And
routine
Snake
to
Child,
activate Snake Mom.
We are not talking about hand-holding in front of the kid, all right? We will handle it
Oh, the
at
kid
home.
went off to go study.
Yeah, the kid is not in the room
I have
currently.
no moral qualms about this. Hand-holding, it's special, Two people that do it together, they carry each other a lot. Same with massages, unless there's money involved or some shit. I don't really know. I don't judge, but don't go offering it to anyone. Also, it's kind of it's a little rude. If I ever catch you offering to me and Paige again, my foot will go somewhere higher.
I've been mean to Paige?
Don't. Just don't. She like puts it. Just don't.
You all are truly adorable.
Thank you. I
This
think.
conversation is moving somewhere where it's
This is definitely a boat level conversation, sis.
yes, I'm getting that. I am understanding that now.
Paige is standing there, not understanding any of this, just knowing they fucked up somehow. Once again.
We're not holding it against you. Just don't do it anymore.
Well, it's been a tiring turn of events these past couple days. I think it's best if we retire.
It has been a delight having you, Jubilee. You are always welcome here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Thank you. And if you ever want to learn about real magic, I could always explain it to you, but I don't know how much I could teach you.
Any knowledge is good knowledge. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Alright. And with that, she will see you guys out with her kobolds leading you out. She'll stay within her home as she then slinks back up one of the tunnels as you guys get through the doors. And standing there in front of you guys is a goblin, a single female goblin in a maid outfit.
Obs,
How to do?
Yes.
I don't know whether to thank you or to be confused.
What do you mean?
Don't worry.
Well, how to do? Are you here to guide us to our domicile?
The goblin will do a deep curtsy, which is not very high off the ground considering she's a goblin.
My most esteemed lords, I am delighted to meet you, and I am here to serve you and to escort you to your new home.
Oh, thank you. And who might you be?
I'm Lowly Wine.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
You could just call me Lily if you want.
Lily.
Lily.
It's a very
Good to
pretty
meet you,
name.
Lily.
Thankfully, we're not super far away, so I should be able to get you there post-haste.
Well, that'd be most appreciated, Lily.
Do you need help carrying any of your things?
She looks up at all the stuff you're carrying, and she is very small.
Oh, that's very kind of you to. No, I think we're set. Thank you.
What stuff says that she's like carrying like a good chunk of it? Did I leave anything?
No, I think we got everything.
Okay. Okay, well, if anything gets too heavy, let me know, and I will carry it for you, my lords and ladies.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Don't worry, I'm used to carrying this much guilt.
She looks kind of confused, but she will promptly turn on her little heels and start walking away, marching away.
And I guess we will follow briskly behind.
Okay.
Mhm.
It takes a few minutes to get to where she's leading you. She's leading you to basically a more residential part of the town, maybe in like more of a middle class area, adjacent to the overall upper class area that Lady Cryotrixia was in. And you see a group of like row houses. And so there is a 2-story building with a small front garden and little pathway leading to it. And she is going right towards the door of that.
This'll be your new home in the city of Greywall.
It looks nice.
Is it pretty furnished?
And it's just for us? There's no one else in here? Is it like a shared home?
She kind of looks at you, just kind of giggles a bit, goes,
Of course it's for you.
The bedroom might be a tight fit for 5 people.
Mm.
There are several bedrooms.
What?
Yeah,
Several?
this is your house. There's 3 master bedrooms as well as there's quarters there for me, and there's a nice little balcony if you wanted to sit under the stars, and it'll be great. Just follow me.
Who's going to be sharing? Oh, I suppose it would probably be the sisters who's sharing the room then.
She scampers towards the door and stands up on her little feet and puts the key into the door and opens it, and you are greeted with your very own home. It is a full-sized, like humanoid-sized house. As it is pre-furnished, or it is previously furnished. So there is as you enter, there's a little stairway you go up, and a kitchen, and then bordering that, it's a kind of an open floor plan with a little dining room and a little living room area that leads to a balcony. And then at the entrance, there's also a stairway going upstairs. She'll show you that there are 2 master bedrooms up there, and then she will show.
Wait, I thought you said 3.
I know. And let me explain.
Okay.
Okay.
And then she'll scamper back down the stairs, and she'll take you near the living room. There's a door that you open it, and there's a staircase going down further to what appears to be a furnished basement area where there is a 3rd master bedroom, as well as a little bedroom for the goblin. And that opens up to a small patio behind the house.
My, this is very overwhelming.
I wonder who wants what room?
It's all yours. You're free to decide. Let me know if anything I can do to make yourselves more comfortable. I see you've got some linens. Would you like me to set them up around the house?
Oh, if you wouldn't mind, that would be great. Thank you, lady.
Absolutely, my lady.
And she scampers around and starts throwing linens over the beds and stuff, and putting little towels in the bathrooms and whatnot.
I start to like elbow Jubilee in the arm, and be like, "What do you say? You want to bunk together?"
No, thank you.
Oh, what? You lost action? We used to do it all the time as kids. Remember all those slumber parties?
Right. As children. I'm gonna go upstairs.
I suppose the biggest is the downstairs. Says if you want to take that one with me.
The actual biggest master bedroom is on the second story,
Oh.
facing towards, like, the windows that it has faces towards the outside of the house, like the front. The other master bedroom up there faces towards the rear of the house.
Honestly, Jubilee might need the biggest room. I get the feeling she's gonna fill up hers the fastest.
I agree. I don't mind taking the smallest.
So the smallest is the one downstairs.
Here's the thing, right? There's only 3 bedrooms.
That is correct.
You know, when I had separate bedrooms, I thought for a second maybe 4, you know, Paige grown up into a beautiful woman. And one day, you're gonna find your own boat to set sail off on. And I don't want to hold you back. But yes, we can share a room, okay?
There's a futon in the downstairs as well, in the basement area. It's not its own bedroom, but if you were interested in just having a place to sleep, all by your lonesome, then that is always an option.
That's fine. We'll figure something. We'll stay in the same room, and then I'm
Are you
assuming
sure? If you
I'm
want-
assuming out of character DM,
Yeah.
we can eventually upgrade house.
Yeah, you are. It is your house. You can now do whatever you want to it.
So
Well,
Paige's,
if everyone
Paige's
wants
ears
a-
are pulled back.
Well, if everyone wants separate rooms, I don't mind sleeping on the couch.
no, you need your own room. Trust me on this. You're gonna want your own room. You
So
know what?
will it be you two downstairs, me and Jubilee taking the 2 upstairs ones then?
I'm gonna pull Paige aside really quick. Give me and my sister a second to talk about this, Kliff. I mean, Paint. Excuse me. I'm sorry. There's like 3 names. I gotta figure it out. I'm sorry. My brain's a little slow.
Changelings.
No, sure, no problem.
It's-
Sorry if I caused any problems.
Oh no, you're not doing much. You're just existing. That's a problem that everyone causes. Anyways, sis, listen. I just looking over the shoulder constantly to make sure like Paint can't hear them.
Pain's just like standing there, like kind of like poking their 2 fingers together, kind of just not wanting to bother anyone else tonight because they feel like they've messed up so many times.
What is it?
Sis, listen. Now you can tell that whatever boat you have in mind for those 2, it's kind of like without a rudder, without a sail. It's kind of just it
It
might be going
has-
backwards.
Yes, there are some noticeable holes at the bottom.
I don't want to. I feel like I've been mean enough to Kliff, even though I'm just trying to look out for him. But if we let him stay upstairs with Jubilee, I'm afraid that might piss Jubilee off more, you know?
Right.
Do you see what...
Damage control, of course.
Hmm,
We should take the one upstairs then. Right?
okay, just
Mhm.
making sure I'm not sounding like a dick.
No, I'm on the same page as you. Oh.
Get it?
We're the same page. Paint,
Yeah?
you fine down here?
If the 2 of you want the bigger room upstairs, I don't mind. After all, 2
Well-
people take up more space.
Yeah. You know, that's exactly what I was thinking and talking about with my sister. Very
Yes.
obviously forced smile.
But I probably deserve to be in the basement anyway.
Wait, hold on a second. First off, do not imply the basement is a bad place. Our new friend Lily lives down here with you.
Lily waves.
Yes.
Howdy.
Secondly, this isn't a punishment. This isn't us being angry at you. It is a room. Trust me, when I'm actually angry at you, you will know. I will make it your problem. But right now, it's just about finding the best space for everybody. Okay?
Well, trusting your judgment, and I will do what I can to make sure everyone is comfortable. And if that means staying out of
And-
everyone's way, then I will gladly do that.
Well, remember what we talked about, Paint. We're working as a group. You can't stay out of our way. Okay? You're with our way. We have one way in this household. We are all on it.
At this point, Jubilee sort of walks back downstairs like, anyone mind if I take the bedroom with the bigger windows? I like to, wake up with the sun.
Yeah, that's good. Me and my sis kind of sunlight we don't want to wake up too early, you know? Not be forced up anyways.
Hey, yeah, feel free to take whichever room.
All right.
Okay. Well, I'm going to check the bedroom, make
I'll,
sure everything's
I'll
good.
unpack stuff and put the extra food in the food store in the pantry.
Oh, I could put the food away. I just hand those to me.
Okay, Lily, here you go.
You see, she takes on a veritable fortress worth of food for her size.
One more thing, Lily. Are there more beds in the servants' quarters?
She scrunches her head in between two of the bags, so it's just like these enormous bags like squishing her face.
She goes, it's just me right now, but if you want more, we can always make more room.
Well, it's just that Jubilee has like 3 people that we have still yet to collect.
What?
Huh?
I'm sure they're fine. Really, it's no big deal. It's fine.
I mean, it's been like 2-3 days now. Should we maybe send them a message?
Listen, I'm sure.
So go ahead.
I'm sure Maggie's fine. She's totally capable. She's on this big independent kick right now anyway. She's probably glad to not see me.
You had more people traveling with you?
3, actually.
Yeah, just my little entourage. They sort of help me, strap in, so to say. Get me battle ready. But...
Listen, that is a morning Jubilee problem right now, night Jubilee, and the rest of us nighties need to sleep. Yeah?
Yeah.
After I put the food away, I'll tomorrow morning I'll start looking into getting some extra beds or something.
Lily, truly, do not worry. This is... I will figure something out.
All 3 of them could share the extra futon.
All right. With that, does everybody head to their respective rooms?
Think so?
Okay.
I think, before everyone turns in, I think Jubilee is going to want to check in on Paint real quick.
Okay.
Just very simply come down to like the basement, knock on the door.
One moment. Goes to open up the door, and you can see the very almost blank room. With like the bed like pushed towards the very edge. So the large blank wall is open.
Is now a good time to talk?
I suppose any time is a good time to talk. Although sometimes I feel like I'm talking too much. Kind of like to ramble on, and can probably mess things up. So if you're all right, me probably doing that, then yeah, we can go ahead and talk some more.
We've been doing that our whole lives. That's nothing new. Look, today was nice, right? We got along pretty well. I just want you to know that, well, I had a talk with Cess and she said that I should give you a chance. And I think she's right. I'm still a little angry, though. But I'm gonna do my best to treat you, really you, fairly in all this.
Jubilee, you have every right to be angry with me. I lied to you for a very long time. I understand if you're angry. I accept it. I just hope that I can make it up to you is all. So feel free to feel angry all you want. I just hope that I can, I don't know. Once you finally are done being angry, that we can still be more than just rivals or acquaintances or anything like that. I have a lot to make up for.
Well, we'll see what happens. I don't know what's gonna happen with us. Not just you and me, but, this group. It's not just the two of us, but I might need some time. And I can't act like how things were, so, with you cracking jokes and I may not respond the same way that I used to, but I want to get to know you, because I guess I never did, and you never got the opportunity to do that, so like I said, I want to give you a chance.
Well, want to get to know me? Start tonight. You want to help me paint my wall?
You're gonna paint already tonight?
Why not? It's a big blank wall. Deserves to be colored.
I suppose. I mean, I don't have much in the way of a hand for these sorts of things.
It's not too hard. Besides, you have an eye for beauty that I don't. All you gotta do is pick a color and stop moving your hand.
I always was better dressed than you anyways, and she's gonna walk in and help you out.
All right, so are Paint and Jubilee going to be painting with paint?
Yes.
Okay. What about our kitties?
Rooms. How furnished are they?
There are some dressers. There's like two big dressers, because you're in the room that's facing the back of the house. So there's two big dressers, and there is a queen size bed, and then there's like a bathroom adjacent to the room, because it's a master bedroom that has like a shower and stuff in it.
Oh, plumbing's canon. Let's go.
Hell yeah, man. We got fucking trains. We're gonna get plumbing.
You never know, all right? I just gotta make sure.
How fantasy is fantasy.
Yeah.
Have to worry about the bathrooms.
Well, sis, you feeling all right? You didn't eat too much back there?
Mm. It it was a little bit different from what we have been eating, but felt more like home that way.
Fresh food, didn't feel like they were churned out from some magic thing. You know, felt nice, felt nice.
Yeah, I didn't think anything was particularly strange, other than, I mean, the meeting beforehand, Venom Spike, and the necklace they gave us. I still can't quite discern that, but hopefully it was of no ill will or no ill intentions.
These necklaces are basically like our papers for these parts, all right? So let's just take them as that.
Mhm.
If we think too hard about this, my head's gonna steam over. If there's a problem from it, we'll deal with it when it comes up.
Yes, that's usually how we do it.
Mm.
But
Besides, it ain't like it's some holy great symbol from a cleric or a paladin. I'm pretty sure this is just like those you know how back at home they sold the sovereign host god amulets, you know, like little crosses and stuff people wear on their necklaces, pictures of prophets they'd wear and stuff. Like I'm pretty sure it's just like that.
right, maybe I'll try to do some research.
Speaking of, have you figured out how you're gonna, well, live here? You can't really exactly continue your work with your teacher if you're here without your teacher, right?
Right. Well, I mean, she was the one that recommended me, so I mean, it's gonna have to stop for a little bit, but I can always try and do some self-studying too. I brought some things, you know, from school at least. A little bit of homework.
Have you thought about any other magic schools, by the way? I know your professor mentioned some big one in Arcanics, but you know, there's plenty of places to learn, yeah?
Yeah, but getting accepted into those, you know, a little bit more difficult, and I know it's a lot more money too.
Yeah. Oh, if we ever swing by them, maybe I don't know. Maybe Kliff and Jubilee could hook you up. Or something. I don't really know how the nobility works, but you know, if we do one nice thing over there, I mean, we saved a couple kids here. We get a nice dinner in a house. You know, if we save a couple kids there, maybe we get your college tuition. Yeah.
Yeah, it might. Maybe that would be really cool. I mean, what we got a house. This is ours. Well, I mean, with Paint and Jubilee as well, but
And Lily.
yes, and
She is
Lily.
now part of the crew.
And two other people, three other people, maybe.
I'm really hoping Jubilee doesn't just jam them into the servants' quarters. They I get the feeling that's gonna cause more problems, if anything.
I think so, but what about you though? Are you okay?
As long as I keep working out and studying Coach's techniques, he won't have any problems. I don't know, it's hard to get a read on that man.
Yeah, he was very intimidating.
Yeah. Anytime I'd ask literally anything about him, all the other pit fighters would go, "We're not allowed to talk about him. We are simply not allowed to." I don't know.
I'm surprised he let you go along with me then, considering
well, I
how
mean-
strict he is.
Well, concerning that certain forbidden board of yours, I'd like to think your professor had a say with him.
I think so. That was also some sort of boat.
We've come a long way, sis.
We have, which, I mean, did you want to have separate rooms? Is
Yeah.
that what you're thinking?
Maybe. I'm still thinking on it, because now we have to, like, think about a house expansion, then we gotta look into a contractor, and getting the materials. It's... Listen, Paige, look at me. You, growing up, eventually will come a day when you'll need your own space. I'm not gonna force you to share everything with me, you know?
I can't imagine a space without you, though.
I promise that when we knock down a wall and build a new room, it'll be right next to or across from yours, okay? You're growing up, Paige, and the big part about growing up is being able to stand on your own 2 feet, which you have been doing. You handled yourself beautifully at that feast. Not one panic attack.
Right, yeah. I felt it a little bit in my chest, but I managed to keep it down.
I'm proud of you, sis. Always.
Hmm.
You're always finding ways to surprise me. You know, things that make me proud to call you my sis.
Ugh.
All right.
Who
And I'm
can
in.
Who couldn't be proud of having you for a sister?
I know I'm pretty great, but listen, I just gotta say, one day you're gonna get a little too big and you're gonna need your own room. Okay, that's literally it. I ain't running away. I ain't going away. Not anytime soon, right?
That night that I slept alone.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I'm strong enough to do that, at least for a while.
Well, thankfully I only did it for the one night, so come on. Well, the one nice bed here will be fine.
I'll keep getting stronger, though, for you.
For you. I'm plenty strong enough for myself, sis, alright? I want to see you keep standing on those 2 feet of yours, alright?
Yes, I will.
Good. Anyways, things to do tomorrow. I don't know what you're doing, but I gotta wake up early, take care of breakfast, prepare the house. I'm assuming Lily will help with that too. I don't know what she does, but it's nice to know we have another roommate, I guess. I don't know. She's a roommate, right?
I don't think that's what they implied. I think she's supposed to run the house?
I mean, yeah, but that's what we all do, yeah? We all live here, yeah? Like, I'm expecting Jubilee and Paint to do this stuff too, yeah?
I don't know if that's the case. The way it made it seem like she kind of assisted the house in general. Like it was supposed to be her job.
Yeah, we'll figure it out in the morning. I'm sure she won't mind if I do my own thing. Anyways.
You always do.
You'll handle that letter tomorrow?
Yes. Oh, of course, yes.
Don't forget that bit of gold I gave you, okay? To send back home.
Right.
What else? What the I'm hearing some stuff down. Wait. How thin are the walls, DM? Can I hear them?
They're not that thin. You definitely cannot hear them. Unless they're being very loud in the basement, you could not hear them from your room.
Okay,
I'm laughing at the image of you guys hearing something happening downstairs, Jubilee coming back upstairs and turning on the shower.
Speaking of downstairs, if it's okay.
Yeah.
If it's okay for the 2 cats, if they're done, I don't want to interrupt.
Yulia, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we're good.
All right. The floor is yours, Bronze Boy.
While Paint and Jubilee are downstairs and painting. Paint currently painting currently a picture of, honestly, probably just something like a planescape right now. Just something simple like that, only for it to paint on top of later. Looks over at Jubilee to see what they're painting.
What are you painting, Jubilee?
Jubilee does not have much in the way of an artistic eye. And she's very painfully, obviously, but like trying to play it cool, like trying to mimic whatever it is that paint is doing. So, but like more so like if they are painting like a scene or like a landscape or something, she is focusing solely on like the large areas of like sky or grass.
Doing some clouds and whatnot.
Seeing them do the broad strokes, Paint is kind of wanting them to put a bit more of themselves, try and get them to put more of themselves into it. So Paint will come over to their side and kind of just like almost mess it up a bit, be like, this tree isn't quite that happy. Here, let's make it a bit more of a happy tree. And just kind of like frill it out with more leaves and like add a little bird to in there.
I mean, yeah, it's your wall. What
do you think? Maybe like we can have like, I don't know, just something silly down there and put like a really crude drawing of an owlbear underneath it.
What did you just paint? What is that?
I'm not quite sure. Could be a cow, could be an owlbear, could be your Uncle Henry.
Oh. Tilts her head. No. Hang on one second. And she paints like these large Coke bottle glasses on top of the face. Now it looks like Uncle Henry.
There we go. Yeah, you're right. You know, it comes to me that I realize that probably because my foster family was rivals with the family you worked with, I never really got to meet a lot of your family. Can you tell me a bit more about them?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't think there's really too much to tell. We're relatively normal, all things considered. I mean, family of guards and mercenaries.
That sounds anything but normal. Come on, you must have some stories you want to tell.
Well, I'm sure if Maggie ever catches up, she'll have an earful for me. She'll have plenty of things to say. Well,
She a bit of a chatterbox?
In her own way. I mean, I don't remember if you've met her before, but you definitely will soon. She's one of my retainers. My younger sister. And she and I, we don't exactly see eye to eye. It's not that we don't get along. It's, I'm the big sister and she's younger and wants to live her own life, but Daddy saddled her with this job to get her foot in the door, so she's a little resentful.
Well, if she has you as a mentor.
Well, I don't know. I don't do too terribly much to mentor her. Probably like I should.
You did leave them at a station.
Well, she wants to be independent. She can be independent. She can figure it out.
I suppose that's one way of dropping them in at the deep end.
Listen, we've been prepared for a lot worse. I think she can handle navigating a train station in a city.
How does a family of mercenaries, become a family mercenary? Isn't there like training or anything you have to do with that?
Oh, well, sure. I mean, growing up, we, Daddy would have us do all kinds of, games and, obstacle courses, training exercises. I mean, this is...
Games, so you didn't just grow up doing nothing your whole life. You actually did have fun.
Well, if you consider hide and seek wielding weapons fun, then yeah, we had loads of fun.
That was your idea of games?
Well, sure. I mean, every kid plays hide and seek and like tag and.
Not with weapons.
Oh. Right. No, that's weird. Totally weird. Absolutely weird. Right.
It's fine. If anything, it makes you more unique. If anyone's the weird one, it's probably me. Not just on the account of, not having a proper form and all, but also just, there was this one time I was with my two little sisters. They loved playing pranks on me. There was one time where I just woke up in the middle of the night to find them standing over me. They had put a thing of bologna on me and then put makeup on top of the bologna. And then they were using a scrying sphere to take pictures of it. I woke up thinking it was just some weird lunch meat accident, and then next thing I know, I was chasing them down the hallways. The guards thought I was some weird meat monster and had to put a stop to me.
That sounds like something I would have liked to see. I guess now I suppose I know where you got your mischievous streak from.
I think it might run in the family. My father was somewhat of the same. He, foster father, he always liked to pull the dad pranks. Not as severe as the ones my little sisters always pulled, but he always did do some of the weird things. Oh, there was one time he came back from a hunt, and he had this new trinket that would turn part of his body invisible. He came in talking as if some great beast took his arm off. We were all just baffled. And he even had like this weird, like tiny little tube set up with some red liquid that he would like pump through it. So when we all started to freak out, he threw his stub at us and had sprayed some red juice all over us, making it look like blood. We were screaming and screaming. Then he took off a ring to realize the limb was still there.
Wow. Oh my god. That sounds kind of traumatizing, to be honest.
I mean, you grew up with a family full of weapons. Like, I'm sure you had similar jokes going on, right?
You know, kinda, maybe not quite so gory though. But
It wasn't that gory. It was actually just sugar water.
Well, that's kind of got me thinking, talking about, family and whatnot, but I mean, obviously, you're taking everything, one day at a time. It doesn't have to be, immediate, but I'm assuming they don't know, do they?
Unsure.
You don't know?
I'm pretty sure my dad doesn't know. My two little sisters, they definitely don't know. My two little sisters, they were born after I got there, so they never knew the original. My mother, though, she has a house symbol. So when she looked upon, her son, probably realized the house symbol was fake. I mean, she had to, right? But she never
I
outed
don't
me.
know. I suppose. She never said anything, or?
It's the way she looked at me sometimes. I think she knows. but I don't think she wants to believe it.
I think at this point it's been long enough that she's made her assumptions and realized they might be true. But knowing your mother, if she's kept you around, that means you're okay. She likes you.
Yeah. My mother's pretty great. Still worried, though. I do plan to tell them, but I'm nervous when I do. What's my father going to say when he learns that his only son is something strange and weird, unknown? What are my two little sisters going to think when they know that their big brother isn't their big brother anymore?
Listen, I definitely said some unkind things when you told me the truth. But I would understand if you don't ever want to tell them.
No, I think I have to. I can't keep lying for the rest of my life. I lied to you all your life, and you had a right. You still have a right to be angry at me for it. And I don't want people to keep living in dishonesty. I want the truth to come out. I want to be who I am, and I can't continue to be who I am if I have to keep putting on a mask and pretending to be someone I'm not. But
I think that's mighty fine.
I could, though, use your support. If you can always say no to this, but if you wanted to help me when I come out to my parents, if you were there to support me, I would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, I can be there. But, well, I know that you still have some sort of connection with Kliff. How does all that figure into this?
I don't know. He's been with me for almost 20 years now, and he's always just been a part of me. It would be hard letting that go, but what else am I supposed to do?
Because the Kliff that I remember was a headstrong, obstinate, bull-headed little twerp. So, if he gives you any trouble, you just let me know, alright?
Alright. I'm already regretting going to sleep tonight.
Well, I hope you have good dreams tonight.
Me too. I hope, it's dumb. I went ahead and I was talking questions about your family, and we ended up talking about mine. That's so ass backwards. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. We have plenty of time to get to know one another. It doesn't have to be just an evening.
And I learned that you really dislike owlbears for some reason.
Just ones that look like my extended family.
Well, maybe we should put a sword in their hand. Maybe they'll fit a little bit better.
Yeah, we can try that.
I think I'm going to have just an open mural. Constantly paint over. Maybe I can, add everyone to it. Everyone in the household can be part of the mural.
I think that'd be nice.
Can't wait. I'm going to have to ask everyone to pose. Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
All right, well, I think it can wait till morning, because you should get some rest. Myself included.
Thank you, Jubilee.
You're welcome. Now I'm gonna
Also,
go wash this paint off.
Yeah. Also, do you have any perfume?
Perfume?
Yeah, they had a talk with big Cryotrixia before. That was me trying to figure out exactly how she saw past my disguise, and I think perfume might be able to help stop that from in the future.
I suppose. I mean, yes, I've perfume. When it's awfully flowery though.
Does that look like it will really bother me?
I don't know. I guess I never thought about it. You always smelled like sugar and desserts before.
All the sugar. Honestly, I am a little happy to step away from the sweets for once.
Do you not have a sweet tooth?
Honestly, not really.
That's why you always crush the sweets.
I have much more of a sour tongue rather than a sweet tooth. But kind of just force myself through it most of these days.
All right, well, you don't have to force yourself to eat sweets any longer. Lord knows your dentist will thank you for it, so.
Yes, today was probably one of the first times I had actually a proper dinner, and it was fantastic.
I'm glad to hear it, so. Kliff ever bothers you for another macaroon, you can tell him to shove it, I suppose.
Yes, I will be talking to him very soon. Now, go on. You should probably go wash up before bed. You would not want to stain your new sheets with paint.
Oh, goodness knows. Oh, yes. All right. Well, good night. I hope it goes well.
Night. I will. Yes, I will do my best. Good talking to you.
Good talk. And she'll leave and go back to her own room. Get that shower running.
Yeah, as Jubilee leaves paint, you realize now you're looking back at your mural, you do see something that you didn't recall painting, but you do see a small pink-haired child crying painted in the mural next to the owlbear.
Oh, Kliff. I'm sorry I ignored you today. You've had 20 years at the wheel. Couldn't I just have this one?
You do not receive a response.
Oh. I'm sorry, Kliff. And I start to get ready for bed myself.
Okay. Anybody else want to do anything before bed?
Nope, I think it's time. I think we're good.
Okay. So with that, everybody goes to bed, and I'm going to briefly focus in on your boy Paint for a moment, and jazz music stops.
Oh yeah. Second.
So, Paint, as you sleep, you find yourself back in passage, and you see Kliff looking up at you, very upset.
What you gotta give me that stink face for, huh? It was one day. Couldn't I
Why
have
do
one
you
day to
look
be
so
myself?
stupid?
Stupid? This is how I like to look.
It's ugly.
find-
It's dumb. Why would you want to look like that? You look better with the pink hair. You look better with your round ears.
Well, maybe I don't want to have pink hair anymore. Maybe I want to have blue hair. Maybe I like being tall. Maybe I like my pointed ears.
That wasn't the deal. You are Kliff.
I've been Kliff for 20 years.
And you see the town starts getting stormy in the sky, and the buildings start crumbling down, and everything starts getting a lot higher to you, as if you're smaller.
Kliff, please. There's no need to be angry, all right? I'm sorry.
You are being dumb. You are being ugly. You're supposed to be Kliff. That was our deal. You're Kliff. You're Kliff. And you now see yourself, and you are at the bottom of a well, looking up as Kliff looks down at you.
No, Kliff, please.
When I found you, you were nothing.
Please.
You're Kliff. Don't forget that you're Kliff.
Don't leave me down here.
You
Please don't
can
leave me
stay
down here.
there until you know what you are supposed to do. What is right for you. You're Kliff. You're Kliff.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And with that, you see him shake his head and go, "You need time to think. You don't understand." And you see
Don't
his
leave me
face
down here.
disappear.
Please.
The rain just starts dribbling down on top of
Please.
you.
Please don't leave me down here. No, please. Please.
And that's how your night goes, Kliff. Everybody wakes up the next morning.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're gonna get up early, like Seth wanted to try to help Lily around the house.
I want to make breakfast.
Okay. You guys get up bright and early and go down there, and Lily is already awake, and she is starting to do some cleaning and stuff. And she has little food and stuff ready to start cooking, and she looks at me and goes,
Oh, don't worry, I'm about to make food in just a little bit.
You don't have to, Lily. We all live here. I can take care of it. You've already done so much.
Yes. How long have you been awake for?
Oh, I get up at sunrise. It's kind of it's not really normal. We're more of a nocturnal people, but I know that not everybody is like that. So I try to do my best to be properly scheduled for my new lords and ladies. And so I'm just starting to do some cleaning, and there was a lot of paint marks everywhere on the ground, so I was cleaning that up, and then, I thought I'd start getting breakfast ready. Would you like coffee? I've got coffee if you like some. Or maybe you like tea.
Hold on. I wanted to ask this earlier. Lords and ladies, is that what you call us?
Well, I figured that's what you want to be called. You're from the kingdoms, and you're in charge of me.
I don't know whatever people told you to do, but we, at least, me and Paige, we've never had a, you see, like, says very cringely, say it, a servant before. Listen, you don't have to break your back over this, all right? We know how to take care of things. Just relax a bit. If you need some more sleep because you're nocturnal, that's fine. Go back to bed. You can wake up when you gotta. You can do your work at the night, and we'll do what we can during the day. I mean, we all live here, yeah?
Well, I want to make sure that you're happy. That's my job.
Well, your health is also part of your work, right?
Well, my duty is to serve. That's what the clans always teach you. Honor your masters.
I pull pages. Aside. This culture is fucked.
This is wrong. This is so wrong.
How do we approach this?
Well, she's gonna kind of turn to Lily. We're gonna be doing other adventures, so there will be times when, when we're not gonna be here. And if you're helping us, then, I mean, relaxing and house sitting is very important too. While we're here, there's not much that you really need to do.
Oh, don't be worried. When you're gone, I'll make sure the house is nice and clean for you to come back to. You won't even know you're gone.
Right.
Lily, yeah, of course, we expect you to, do your job when we're not here. But what we're saying is you don't have to put everything on you. You weren't joking when you asked to take our luggage last night, right?
No, of course. It's my duty to serve.
You have to know your limits. All right, listen, I know you aren't part of the kingdom, so you aren't exposed to the cruelty that is minimum wage labor, but...
Well, I don't get paid.
Oh, God.
What? No.
I get the privilege of living here.
My gosh.
What do you do in your free time?
Well, before this, I used to work for a different lord.
Well, that's great, but right now, when you're not working, let's say everything's taken care of, what do you do?
Well, I don't know, maybe take care of the garden?
Everything is taken care of. The garden, splendid. The showers, pristine. What do you do?
Well, I like to practice sneaking around and poking things.
Great. And when you poke stuff, you need something to poke with, right?
Oh yeah, I have lots of knives. And you see, like, she pulls up her apron on her maid outfit. You just see like 8 steak knives in her hands.
Oh.
And if you didn't have those knives, how would you get more?
Oh, well, I would use the money that's given to me to take care of you all to go buy more knives.
So you are paid.
Well, I'm not paid. That money is for your food and your drinks and for more cleaning supplies and seeds and fertilizer.
So it's like your budget, and you would use your budget to replace your tools.
Well, yes, that's my tools are necessary to make sure that you all are taken care of.
Yeah. Listen, you also have to take care of yourself. You've seen what happens to other people that overwork themselves, yeah?
Oh yeah, it's really bad. Thankfully, I'm very good at my job.
Have you
Get away,
ever
use
Go-
some
go
of
ahead.
that money on what if we asked you to go get us something, food, and a little something for yourself too?
Well, that seems strange. I'm gonna get whatever you're having because I'm gonna cook it all. If there's anything left, that's for me.
Oh, Oh no.
Okay, this is gonna be a whole project, I'm guessing, Lily. Listen, you already seem like you don't deserve the kind of treatment that you've been given.
I've been treated
Please.
very well. I was trained in the clan.
Oh, humana. Oh God, sis.
And this
Listen.
clan, are they all doing the same thing that you're doing?
No, Clan Way has lots of members, and they all do different tasks.
Oh goodness.
I was trained to be an assistant. I know how to do. I can read. I know how to do math. I know how to clean, how to take care of armor and weapons. If there's something you need done, I can do it.
How are you already smarter than me, yet lacking in self-care knowledge? All right, listen.
The goblin will walk up to you, somewhat concerned. She's gonna put a hand on your knee and be like,
"Don't worry. I'm smart enough for the both of us. I'll take good care of you."
It's just stifling laughter.
I can't be mad at you. And she kneels down, and looks at her, and looks at her eyes, and says, "Listen, okay, how about this? All of us come from the kingdoms, and in the kingdoms, we're allowed to be a little more selfish. We try to take care of ourselves, and so when we see someone that isn't doing that, we get concerned. You know, if you're not taking care of yourself, we're gonna work. Now, obviously, I don't want to guilt trip you or anything right now, so we'll just push past it. But I'm gonna set a ground rule right now, okay?
Whatever
As
you
you
say,
knew-
mistress.
Okay, 2 ground rules. First off, never call me mistress again. Never call me lady or lord again. Call me Says. Says. You got that? Just my
Yes,
name.
Master
Okay?
says.
No master. No title. Just Says, okay?
Well, that sounds weird, but
Well,
I'll
I'm
allow
pretty
it.
weird. You'll allow it. Okay, good. Glad to see you taking the high road on this. Okay. You are gonna take care of yourself. So if you do something for us, you're gonna do it for yourself too. Okay, that's the rule. Okay. If we're getting a plate of food, you're getting a plate of food. You got that? No
I'll
leftovers.
have to get a plate of food for all of you.
As well as yourself. So 5 plates of food. Okay.
Okay. Minimum
And the
5 plates.
And a seat at the table too.
That's a
We'd
seat
love
at
for
the
you-
table.
Yes, we'd love for you to join us in our meals.
And those chairs look pretty big. I think they're designed for more important people than me.
You're pretty big. What?
I'm sure we have extra pillows. We could do with the children, where they stack them.
Says just shaking your head, looking at her don't
No.
call her a fucking child.
No, I am an adult.
Right, no, that's not what I implied. I apologize. I meant because of your stature. It might be difficult to get on these chairs.
We'll I'm assuming Jubilee will want to do some interior decorating. We'll probably at some point get more furniture. We will get goblin-friendly furniture, because goddamn, we live in a progressive world. Everyone has rights, regardless of the forms they've been given.
I feel like at this point, Jubilee is gonna make her entrance, descend downstairs, fully dressed, immaculately done hair for the morning, just oh, Lily, is that coffee I smell? Can I get a cup, please?
Yes, milady.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
she scampers away from Cess and Paige to go pour Jubilee some coffee.
Oh.
Morning.
Good morning, Jubilee. Hopefully you had a good night's sleep.
Yeah, I slept pretty well. How about you two? Did you like your new room?
A little too soft, but I'll get used to it.
I'm sorry, I'm still this has been a big morning.
Any
A very,
sugar or
very
cream?
Oh, both, please. Thank you.
Excellent, milady.
Jubilee,
thank you.
are you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Good.
Oh, I was just thanking her. Yeah.
Are you aware of the culture here for servants? Is it the same back home? Do you pay your servants?
Of course we pay our servants. At least I think so. I would hope so.
She does.
You don't know.
She does.
I mean, I never really had to think about it. I mean, that would be left up to Daddy. He's the head of the house, but I would think he would.
Okay, listen. They don't pay the servants here.
Oh.
Listen, the culture, they have not had labor laws instilled yet. Listen, point is, Lily's gonna be, we gotta make sure she's not gonna overwork herself, yeah?
Yeah, that'd be bad. We only have one of them, so, you know.
Wait, what does that mean?
Like if we only have one servant and you know, what if she needs a day off? Like, what are we gonna do?
That's fine. Just don't say one of them, all right?
I'm gonna make coffee for myself. I have a headache.
I don't think Lily's gonna let you do that, sis.
You hear a big banging on the door.
Huh?
Could one of you get that? I think I'm.
Lily goes, I can go take care of it.
Yeah, really? Wait. I can get the door.
Says is gonna play football, interception on Lily and let Paige get the door.
I'm getting the door. I'm getting it. She's running to the door.
As you open the door, you look up. You start off looking forward, and you see white robes with silver thread on them. And as you start looking up, you see the scowling, sneering face of none other than Flamebearer Rei Nin Yen, where she was just about ready to smack her metal arm against the door one more time.
Good morning.
I found these, and I thought I should take them to you. And she gestures behind her, and you see there are 3 people standing behind her. One of them is a tall... It's tall Jubilee. And she looks real pissed off. And as opposed to, fluffy dresses and everything, she's wearing, basically, trousers with high boots and, a half jacket top, and her hair is somewhat spiky, and she's got lots of piercings and rings on her horns. And then flanking her, even taller than her, is a very Amazonian-looking, dark-skinned wood elf, whose most of her hair is pulled back in some kind of scarf bandana, and she has elaborate, elven tattoos on her face and on her hands that appear to be kind of like henna tattoos, but they're very clearly actual tattoos. And she looks very stern-faced. And on the other side is a very tall Amazonian-looking half-orc with a mohawk that has basically no actual product in it, so it kind of is hanging down over one side of her head. And she also has several piercings, and they are both wearing servant's garb.
Paige's ears go back a little bit. Her tail goes a little bit in between her legs. Welcome. You're all welcome to come inside if you like. Are you here for anyone in particular?
As Ray is about to say something, you see the tiefling come stomping forward. And she goes, Jubilee Banshee Ravamar, you get your pink ass out here!
I'm in Magnolia.
Really quick, Says is gonna ask Lily to make a cup of tea because I have found my Sunday morning Springfield show. Jerry Springer show.
Yes, sis.
And she starts brewing a tea with the coffee that she's brewing as well. She's just bouncing between the two. And then Ray's just gonna push the rest of the door open and be like, I'm going to come in now.
Yes, please, by all means, come right on in.
As she will stomp in, you hear the heavy thuds of her metal legs clacking against the wood of the floor. And then you see what you presume to be Magnolia, and the two servants come walking up, and Magnolia is going right up to Jubilee. She's about... Jubilee's 5'4", Magnolia is about 5'8". She is roughly kitty-sized. And she looks down at Jubilee and be like, 3 days! You left us on that train for 3 days!
You always said you wanted more space. I don't see what you're fussing about.
We didn't even know the city we were supposed to be going to! You were supposed to tell us that!
Oh, really? You didn't read the itinerary?
You did give me an itinerary!
I could have sworn I did. Maybe you lost it.
I would not lose the itinerary of the place I was going to go. As much as it is delightful being in that one of them House Orient trains, I would have to say that I would prefer to have been doing what I was supposed to be doing here in the first place. Staying with them gold dragon inns.
Oh, what you're supposed to be doing. You mean spit shine in my boots. Well, I got them all right here upstairs for you.
I think the first thing I'm going to do, Jubilee, is I'm going to go have myself a breakfast and some coffee because, you know, stuff wasn't quite as readily available after day 2 on the train. Apparently their willingness to give to the good name of the Ravamons somewhat diminishes the longer you are on one of them trains.
Yeah, the train folks, they're, little high and mighty, so... But I'm glad to see that you got it all sorted out.
And she glares at Jubilee and then turns back and goes, Shavira, Nesca, get the rest of our things and start unloading them in this place. Whatever this is.
Oh, they're just gonna move in.
I told you I'd sort this out. I'm gonna go sort this out.
So the rest of you now see a taller than Jubilee tiefling and a very Amazonian wood elf and half-orc woman enter behind her, carrying lots of things beneath their muscular arms.
Right, well, we can find a place to make room for y'all. By the way, it's so good to see you two. Lovely to see you. Thank you for taking care of little Maggie here.
While holding everything, Shavira and Nezca both bow very deeply to Jubilee.
And, well, there's only 3 bedrooms and 4 people, so, I mean, Maggie, I guess you and I can bunk.
You only have 3 bedrooms?
We're downsizing, living quaintly.
Where are all the servants going to sleep?
Oh, downstairs in the basement.
Well, I guess the basement does make sense for servants.
Hey. That's Lily right there. You be nice to her.
Hello!
I've only had Lily for, half an hour? And if anything happened to her, I would kill everybody else in this room and then myself.
Protect Lily at all costs.
Protect her.
I can help with your things, milady.
No, Lily, no. This is my mess. I'll sort through it. Thank you, though.
We will need extra plates for breakfast, okay? Don't forget yourself. I'm watching you cook.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I have to start cooking.
And she now goes from scampering between coffee and tea kettle to also starting to crack open eggs and stuff.
Seeing that there's now a gap in her defenses, Sez is also helping out in the kitchen. Well, that's all happening.
And Magnolia looks at the house as she's moving in and just goes, well, isn't this just quaint? Very suitable for you, Jubilee.
Yes, I quite like it. Although would have preferred having my own room, but now that you're here, I guess I'll just have to make do.
Well, I'm sure that I can find plenty of places to move in. You know, I assume that wherever they're sleeping down in the servants' quarters, as she gestures to Cess and Paige.
Oh, no, Maggie, no. These are my associates. Esteemed associates. You understand?
But they look to be the hell.
All right. Will y'all give me a moment with my sister here? Just a little moment.
Yeah, should take all the time you need, says giggling, knowing she could bench press like 2 of her.
Yeah. All right, Maggie, come outside. Step on the doorstep with me real quick.
Sure, whatever.
All right, and quickly shut the door, and just immediately, if you ever say anything negative about my friends, first of all, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Second, they will whoop your ass. Understand? And you can go crawling back home to daddy.
Well, I'm just making an assumption. You know, they looked poor.
Yeah, well, making an assumption always makes an ass out of you, don't it?
I believe that ends with and me.
Nope, just you this time, sugar.
That's an assume, Jubilee. That phrase doesn't even make any sense. This is why Daddy had me come here, because you can't be trusted to think for anything on your own. If it doesn't involve you taking your little flail out and smashing it, you couldn't think your way out of a paper bag.
I'll have you know I burned down a building yesterday.
How am I not surprised?
Sorry. You just dropped that on someone.
I have you know that I committed arson.
Now then, shall we have some coffee?
I think that would be delightful. It's good to see you again, sis.
It's so good to see you too, little Maggie.
She gives you a very, like, oh, I'm hugging you because you're my sister, but God.
The awkwardest of sibling hugs.
Lily will look up at Nezka and Shavira. I go,
Oh, you can just put that stuff down over there. I'm assuming that you are her servants. So could you please help me do some cooking?
and they both kind of look at each other for a moment, and then they look down at the little goblin, who, you know, each of them is probably about 6'3", and they nod, and they will move into the kitchen with Cess and Lily, and start cooking. And,
Right.
Yeah, with that,
And we
Jubilee-
come back in.
Yeah, Jubilee Magnolia come back in.
First, give a very pointed look to Magnolia and be like, I think Maggie here has something to say to y'all. Something in the form of an apology.
Alright, fine. I, Magnolia Baneshield Ravamont, do hereby apologize to you, whoever you two are, for making assumptions is about your service status with my sister, and by vicariously me. So, I do apologize. I am sure that there are plenty of other things that you do here, and I look forward to learning them.
Yes, of course. Apology accepted. only a misunderstanding, of course. So, you're her sister, so everything is fine.
No, don't let her off the hook that easy, Paige. She'll never remember otherwise.
I think she'll be learning her lesson when she has more quaintly food this morning, as like they're like finishing up breakfast.
Oh, that just looks just adorable.
Good, you'll be eating it.
That's like what we used to eat whenever we go out to the country, Jubilee. You know, when they'd come to the cottage, when the servants would bring us some of the local farm fresh.
Yes, this looks just like that, and how delicious it was, right?
Oh yeah, it was so. It's so particularly quaint. It's such a wonderful change of pace.
Jubilee just has this very tight, pursed smile. Her eyes are just screaming, "I'm so sorry" to the group.
Lily goes,
Says looks strangely content with this turn of circumstances.
Paige is outwardly and inwardly panicking.
Oh, I should go wake up. Lord Paint. I will be right back.
Oh, like suddenly there's like a look of concern at like Jubilee, as if like, is this good? Is your sister copacetic with paint?
no, this was Lily talking.
Oh no!
Oh.
I know Lily's going off
Oh.
to get paint, but Says is expressing concern to Jubilee that oh god, she would have known Kliff is here.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Anyways, breakfast.
Lily
Scrambled
was
eggs
gonna-
and tomato.
wipes off her little apron and starts, happily scampering down to the basement, where she will go to knock on Kliff's door.
As they go to knock on Kliff's door, they hear no answer, but if they listen closely, they can hear a subtle murmuring. Don't leave me down there, 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 don't leave me down there,
Breakfast is ready.
don't leave me down there, 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 don't
I'm
leave me down
coming
there,
in.
don't leave me down there, don't leave me down there, don't leave me down there.
Is the door locked? That's my first question.
No, it is not locked.
Okay. She will open the door and look inside.
First thing they might notice is the large mural that was painted on the wall is suddenly covered up in large blotches of black paint, and then painted over that what looks to be a depiction of the bottom of a well. And at the very bottom of that well, you can see a blue-haired elf crying as rocks fall on top of them. Meanwhile, over in the very corner of the room, you can see Kliff held up in the fetal position, constantly murmuring, "Don't leave me down there, don't 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 leave me down there.
Lord
Please
Paint.
don't leave me down there, don't leave me down there,
breakfast
don't leave
is
me down there,
ready.
don't leave me down there, 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 don't leave me down there,
You
don't
you
leave me down
seem
there,
like
don't leave me down there, don't leave me down there,
you're not
don't leave me
ready
down there,
for breakfast.
don't leave me down there, don't
I'll
leave me
be
down there,
sure to
don't leave me
keep
down
some
there, don't leave me down there, don't
warm
leave me down
for
there.
you.
And
Don't
she's
leave me
just
down
gonna
there, don't leave me down
quickly
there, don't leave
scamper
me
out
down
of the
there,
room
don't
and
leave me
close the
down
door
there.
behind her real quickly. And she will come back upstairs, and Lily looks visibly shooketh.
Oh, did you go on him changing?
Oh, he did not seem ready for breakfast. I think we should save him some for later.
Juby, should I go get him?
I mean, yeah, I don't think you'd want to miss breakfast.
Yeah, I'll get him. You guys talk for a little bit. I'm gonna go kick his door down.
As you start moving towards the door, Lily is gonna tug on your pants leg and look up at you and
Can you lean down a bit?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I'm gonna talk to you like an equal, and then like says, does the thing where you kneel down to someone's level to talk to them.
that's not how you talk to short people.
Oh yeah, you lift them up, but
Yep.
I'm not at that level yet with
Yeah.
you, all right?
She looks very concerned as she whispers into your ear. She goes,
I don't think Lord Paint is okay. He looked very different this morning, and he kept muttering, and it was really scary.
Okay, I definitely should go get him then. Okay.
Okay,
Snack.
just be careful.
He's not gonna turn anything scary to me, all right? Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And you go and start eating breakfast with everyone. Says gets up. If I'm not back in like 10 minutes, send a search party. And Says is gonna go to Paint's room, presumably.
yeah. Her eyes get very big as she kind of nods.
All right. A knock on the door. Is Paint still murmuring?
Yes, you can still hear, don't leave me down there, don't leave me down there, don't leave me down there, don't leave me down there. Don't leave me
Okay,
down there,
what the?
don't leave me
I'm
down
going
there,
to
don't leave
open
me
the
down there.
door and then enter the room and close it behind me, and I'm assuming I see that fucking horror show that you described.
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah, Lily
Don't leave me
is
down there,
not
don't
a
leave me
good
down there, don't leave me down there, don't leave me down there, don't leave me
Hey,
down there, don't leave
buddy?
me down there, don't leave me down there, don't leave me down there, don't leave me
Buddy,
down
you
there.
good?
Don't leave me down there, don't leave me down there.
Jubilee's
Don't leave me
sister
down
is
there.
here.
Don't leave me down there, don't leave me
Okay, that
down
is
there,
not
don't
fucking
leave me
up, alright.
down there, don't leave me down there, don't leave me down there, don't leave me down there,
Okay.
don't
Aunt
leave me down
Jemima
there.
said do one of two things.
Leave me down
Hit
there,
him or
don't leave
hug
me
him,
down
hit
there.
him or hug him. Eeny, meeny. She does
Don't
the
leave
whole
me
eeny, meeny, miny. Okay. She is going to lift... Is this Kliff right now or Paint?
It's Kliff.
It's Kliff.
Okay, just to be sure. She is going to jam her hands under Kliff's armpits, lift him up, and then bear hug him. Shh, 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 shh. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're not down anywhere right now. We're in Greywall. We're at our home. We just woke up after a night. Last night we had a feast at Cryotrixia's house. We're waking up for breakfast. It's okay. It's all right.
I don't want to be in the basement.
Okay. All right. And she immediately looks back at the wall, looks back at him and goes, "Yeah, we'll give you a different room, okay?"
They can't even speak. They just see a slight hint of a nod. That's about it.
He's like, she doesn't want to let go of Kliff right now because she's afraid that she'll just slump to the floor. So she very awkwardly holding him like a small child. I hate it. Hobbles over to the door, slightly nudges the door open with her foot, and shouts out, "It's gonna be a bit longer. Just don't worry, we'll be fine. All right, just a bit longer." And she is just going to hold Kliff there until he's ready to come out.
After a few moments of breathing. You said that we had guests.
Okay, listen, buddy, you can't just fucking 180 on me and immediately ask me if guests after that. Are you okay?
But of course.
And
I am the man of my own dreams.
okay, buddy, that's gonna mean a lot. What the fuck happened with your wall? This was definitely... I don't know what you guys painted last night, but there's no way Jubilee would have let you paint something like this.
Oh, I am unsure. Whatever it is, it was pretty ugly. We will have to paint over it.
Are you bullshitting me right now? I'm going to roll insight on Kliff. That is a 15.
That was a 23.
Okay. Kliff, you can control the narrative of how Cess perceives you, or emotional state kind of thing.
I was
You're not
mainly
quite-
talking about the wall bit.
Yeah, so, but
Yeah.
he can basically convey what he wants to you for it. 'Cause he did much better than you. He's a known lying scumbag.
You're not quite sure what exactly may have happened last night. Probably not something good. But from what you can tell just from Kliff's face, you can see that a new calm is starting to come over them. And they start to realize that all that was just a phase, an idiotic notion, not something that should be continued on. After all, he's Kliff. Who else would he be? Kliff doesn't paint. Painting like that's dumb.
Okay, well, listen, little unsure about this. Nobody, listen, Jubilee's sister's here. And I don't know if you want to tell her about paint or if you want to go out looking like that.
Paint?
Do you,
It's ridiculous. Why would they not want to meet the fabulous Kliff de Eberron?
well, I mean... I don't... Something doesn't smell right, but I'm not gonna pressure you right now after the night you clearly had. You can let go of me now, by the way.
Oh, very well.
Anyways, we'll see about getting you a different room, alright? For now, this room is off limits until we figure out what the fuck happened to your wall.
Like I said, just an ugly painting. Come, let us go see these new guests of ours.
Again, it is Jubilee's sister. I'm assuming she's saying that as he's walking out the door.
Yeah. So, as you're walking up, Kliff, as you open the door, you see Magnolia, who you have met before. She's a few years younger than Jubilee, but taller. And you know she always had a bit of a crush on you. And there are her servants. Well, there are Jubilee's servants who you've seen in passing a few times when you would meet at events. And there is little Lily, who looks very scared. And as she sees you coming up the stairs, she is going to hide in the kitchen behind the two big maids.
Well, hello there.
Is that Kliff de Eberron?
You know it? I know you all must have had a very long train ride, but I do hope that it was somewhat of a fantastic train ride at least.
Oh, Kliff, you know my sister, she can't manage to keep track of anything, but I'm glad that we have finally arrived and I can see you once more. And she walks up and extends out her hand.
Always glad to have you, Miss. And go ahead and kiss her hand.
She giggles, looks at Jubilee.
Jubilee is not even looking at them, to be quite honest. She's looking at Cess, like,
Tess has
trying...
left the room.
Oh, Cess hasn't even left yet? Oh, okay, then, alright, in that case, she is, again, Magnolia is not in the picture right now. She is trying to decipher, after, the events of last night, why he's pink again. She's not really, very pointedly looking, not saying anything, but obviously wheels are turning as she's trying to decipher what the heck is going on.
Really quick, I want to come after doing one thing in
Yep.
Kliff's room.
Yep.
Would Kliff have left a bucket of paint on the ground? Would there be any paint left over?
Probably.
Okay. First, Cess is going to commit that image to memory. Just note it. And then she's going to, not even, paying attention to the fact that she's getting paint on her hands. She's going to splash the paint bucket against the wall and then come out.
Okay.
Alright.
You see a bit of a paint, her hands have a bit of black paint on them, as Cess comes up the stairs.
All right,
Yes?
now is the moment that eye contact is initiated.
I will say, as you have quite a bit of paint there on your hands, you may want to go ahead and wash that nasty stuff off. But now, first, breakfast. I heard we were having breakfast. Lily, please. I wish to have a most scrumptious of dinner. For breakfast, of course.
Yes, my lord. Anything you
Something,
want, my lord.
Oh, please,
Breakfast
something
was
sweet.
already made, Pink Boy.
Oh, well, I hope it is sweet.
And I think with breakfast, this would probably be a good place to end.
Oh boy.
So, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. I know we went a bit longer than we usually do, but as they say in the business, shit went down. So I think we needed a bit more time. So to leave on this little cliffhanger here. But yeah, I hope you all had fun tonight. How are you guys feeling?
Feel great. This is great.
Okay, you know what? It's not my arc. I'm very happy with it not being my arc. I'm okay without the trauma, DM. I'm just
Not even my game, and I can still cause people panic.
Emotional damage. Yeah, that was definitely an emotional roller coaster of a session. But I thank you guys all out for coming. Thank you for everybody who rated. I hope you guys come back for more. You should definitely go check out our fabulous players here, exclamation point players. That's the links to all of their Twitches. They're all wonderful streamers and VTubers in their own right. Definitely go check them out. If you want to watch the other episodes of Ashes of the Last War, in case you only jumped in now, you can go to our YouTube listed there. I will post up this video as soon as I can. Usually I do it on Friday or Saturday, depending. So go check it out. And I hope you guys coming back for more. You know, it's hard to believe it's only been one adventure, and here we are 6 sessions deep, and trauma is just pouring out of every orifice. But yes,
These are the players that you signed up for.
oh, I love it. I love it.
You love to see it.
It's like I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is yell at Kliff every now and then, and that's all the people need.
I
what
love
thumbnail-
playing Warlock.
The thumbnail being Snake Mom Goblin Maid, the actual content, depression.
Lure them in with my Amazonian retainers, and then, you know.
Yeah, for
Come
sessions
on
like this,
ahead
we don't
with
really need to do any dice rolling. People can just role play to each other indefinitely. It's all good.
I got a dice roll in there. Let's go.
Yeah. So,
We had history check and we had insight and deception.
yep. So next session, we will continue with this interlude and probably pick up the next contract for our plucky group of adventurers, depending on how much this progresses for dealing with Kliff's trauma as a party now. And we have now been greeted with Jubilee's lovely sister and their 2 retainers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Alrighty, so if you haven't done so already, please give us a follow here on Twitch. Give me a follow on Twitter. You can also subscribe to my YouTube. And you can join our Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of this incredible community. I want you all to know you're all beautiful, amazing, and valid people. I hope you enjoy spending your evenings with us nearly as much as we enjoy spending it with you. And never forget the most important part, which is that the world is better having you in it. I will be back here on Friday for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. And we will be back here on Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, assuming nobody gets sick or anything, for more.
I'm done. I'm done getting sick.
For more Ashes of the Last War. So I look forward to seeing you guys then.
It's my turn on the 6th.
Yikes!
So we get to see the conclusion of this family soap opera come a lot sooner.
Honestly, if you wanted to go full on like TV season finale where it's like ending on a really like unsettling song playing as Kliff is sitting at the table and not paint, like that's big season finale vibes right
Yep.
there.
But yeah, so let's find somebody to raid. I actually think we're gonna raid Jazzy Bassy because They are currently playing a Pathfinder 2.0 one-shot that's being DM'd by Seth, who's a good dude. So I think we're going to go raid them for their one-shot and keep the D&D train running. But yeah.
I wanted to try Pathfinder 2e, but I can never find a game for it.
Well, if you want to see how at least it works in action a bit, this will be a good opportunity, because from what I understand, it's a lot of their first times doing Pathfinder 2.0, and it's just a one-shot, so it should be nice and self-contained. I think they're using pre-made characters.
Very nice.
So if you're a follower, please copy down the call to hugs. If you're a sub, copy down the knight's message. And with that, we shall go raid them. I hope you all have an amazing night. Bye!